on Vince McMahon?
Well, Vince McMahon went out there and tried to claim that he didn't need anybody's help. Hell, he rode Stone Cold's ass the whole Attitude Era. I was a big part of what happened here, and he knows that, and that's the bottom line. For him to go out there and accept some plaque from Shane and Stephanie was complete BS. Stone Cold went out there, crashed his little party, rang it up with a couple of stunners, and that's the bottom line. It feels good to be here. Hell, I've been out in Los Angeles messing around for a couple of years. So when they gave me the call, hey, Steve, we're going to celebrate Raw 25 in New York at the Barclays Center in Berkeley, I said, yeah, I'm going to be there. So I showed up, I raised hell, gave Vince a couple of stunners, and it was a damn good time being here and talking with all the WWE superstars, the guys and girls that have fallen down the path that I set, from the guys that blazed the path before me. It just continues on. It feels like a big-ass family reunion here. I'm proud and happy to be a part of it and to go out there and open up a can of whoop-ass for this city to watch.
Thank you very much for your time, Stone Cold.
That's all you got to say to me is ask me one question, I give you one answer, and then you're going to shake my hand. You flew me all the way out here. Now you're going to bring me backstage and treat me like a jabroni.
Well, I mean...
Did you not do any more prep than that? You got one question. Okay, what's your name?
Mike.
Okay, Mike, you're going to ask Stone Cold a couple of questions, and you just did one question. Do you know who you're talking to? My name is Stone Cold Steve Austin. I actually drew money. I actually was the world heavyweight champion. I won 3 Royal Rumbles. And you bring me all the way out here to the East Coast, to Brooklyn. You got one sorry-ass question for me. You're a chump. You need to go back to your house, do your homework, because next time when Stone Cold Steve Austin shows up, I want a proper interview, proper camera time, proper mic time, hell, proper interview personnel. You got no business interviewing something like me, son. You're way out of your league. Go back and do your homework. I'm sure everybody back home is proud of you, but you're just a piece of trash in my eyes. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Thank you. It's been wonderful talking to you. That's BS. I hated talking to the sorry SOB. And that's the bottom line because I said so. I'll catch your ass down the road. Mike.
All the boys at KTR, Earls, the Red, and Mr. Bonesaw. Talking Ricky versus Macho, oh so awesome. Oh, yeah. Breaking glass just like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Oh so hot like RVD. This is the Tim Show. You can't see me. Show's gonna kill you is what the yell. Shut the up and ring the bell. So quick, so hard, go 1, 2, 3. Hit every Wednesday like NXT. Talk so tough it hit your jaw. Right in the smackdown, keeping it raw. This is a takeover, not a pay-per-view. Now get ready for Kayfabe Talk Radio.
Polluting the airwaves, a rebel. Notice let me revel and bask in the fact that I got everyone kissing my ass and it's a disaster. Such a catastrophe for you to see so damn much of my ass. You ask for me? Well, I'm back. Fix your minutes and I'm tuning in and I'm gonna enter in and up under your skin like a splinter. The center of attention, back for the winner. I'm interesting. The best things in wrestling, investing in your kids' ears and nesting. Testing, attention please. Feel attention soon as someone mentions me. Here's my 10 cents.
All right, everybody. Welcome to this week of Kayfabe Talk Radio. I am Eric the Red John, along with, as always,
J.R. Earls.
And...
Oh, we should call it Beach Ball Mania. Mr. Bonesaw.
Beach Ball Mania. Oh, my God. Well, boys, the 25th anniversary.
Give me 1 second while you guys get your opinions out.
Well, all right. Well, Pat, you didn't really watch the show, right? So
I went and I researched everything, so
okay.
I'm not just here sitting, like sitting on my ass and like pretending I saw everything. From what the clips I saw and what I read, it just seems like, hey, you want to see some nostalgia? Do you want to have no substance and not put any of the new talent over? Yeah, that sounds like a fantastic idea. There was like certain good moments. The Miz, winning the Intercontinental title back. Stone Cold doing his shtick, getting his stunners out and getting getting over. I mean, he's already over. It's Stone Cold. We all know who the hell he is. I mean, it was a good way of starting or off the show, but then the rest of the show was just you could tell, like the crowd wasn't really into it until like they had the nostalgia act in, and it's just like, okay, it shows the problems with what they think is relevant now. It's like, oh, you want to see nostalgia, but you don't want to have good storylines, driving the fact that the company's kind of falling apart at the seams here. It's like, oh, we'll use the nostalgia to glue everything together, and it just doesn't work anymore.
Yeah, it was more of like, what it was? It was more, I guess it was more like cheap pops, because like, I got a real kick out of APA, doing their thing, because, I thought like, I actually, it's funny, I was watching like old school, like 2001, and I love how I say old school, and that's really not that old school, but I was watching like some stuff from 2001 the other night with APA and the Attitude Era, so it was like, oh, I could picture them doing this backstage skits with like Heath Slater and like a few other guys back there, whoever's around, and then some legends come around playing poker. And then sure enough, they did that. I was like, all right, cool. Like, this is fine. Like, these are segments like this, like, I enjoy. Like, I enjoy the little segments like this. But my main, like, confusion with the show was, like, all right, I understand. I totally understand the whole PG thing for the most part. But the issue I had with this show was, okay, how do you go at 8 o'clock when most kids are actually watching the show, most little kids are watching it, to bunch of people in the audience chanting asshole clear as day, and a fucking 50-year-old guy, bald, redneck, coming out there with Miller Lights, throwing middle fingers, and then like you have Taker come out and they're chanting holy shit, and they don't bleep it out, and then you have backstage they're drinking more beer or whatever, and Ron Simmons is smoking cigars, and they do other things, but then when they go to Manhattan Center at like, what was it, like 10:40, 10:50 at night with DX, and Triple H is in there, and Shawn's like, oh, you should tell the story about the time when me and Chyna had a giant kibasa, and Triple H is like, no, we can't tell that story, it's not PG. It's like, okay, and then Road Dogg comes out, and he can't say the word ass in his intro. I'm like, well, this makes no sense. This makes absolutely no sense. Yeah, you'd think by the 10 o'clock hour they would be doing the more TV-14 shit, but no, at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock they're doing it, and at 10, it almost seems like USA called them up on the phone, was like, hey, can you tone it down? But, like, I don't know, it made no sense whatsoever, because for the first hour, and that's why I enjoyed more of the first hour, where it was like, I actually feel like I'm watching a show that's not for children. Like, the very first hour was fine, and then it fell apart afterwards. And it's like, come on, like, the 25th anniversary Raw, no one gives a fuck about Apollo and Titus versus, like, Heath Slater and Rhino. It's like no one cared.
You know what would have made more sense if they had done, like, they had the matches on television, like all the stuff, like all the matches, some of the because they have the network. Like, on the network, they can do whatever the fuck they want. It would have made some more sense there, like, if they were going to do the simulcast, where they were going to have, the Barclays Center, and then they were going to have, the Manhattan Center. They should have done, where Barclays was, like, all the, like, the main card matches for Raw, and just did a regular Raw. But then, when you wanted to see all the nostalgia acts, you could watch it at Manhattan Center, and that was where all the cursing and stories, and then you could have like a couple matches in between. Like,
you mean to tell me if like Steve Austin stunned Vince there, and then like if like they did APA skits back there, that like the crowd would actually get like $300 to $500 worth?
yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, that's ludicrous. How could we possibly have thought of that?
Well, there's a word to sum. There's like one word that can sum up the entire show, and that word is clusterfuck, because that's what it was.
If
It was from start to finish. It was a complete clusterfuck. They, like you guys were saying, they brought out Austin in the first 20 minutes of the show. That was stupid. That should have been your last thing that you did. That should have been the closer.
That I disagree.
That should have been the main event. If it's the 25th anniversary of Raw, if they're celebrating that nostalgia, that's what that should have been your closer. I understand they brought him out for to get the big pop and get the big over and all that bullshit. Plus, granted, maybe they were afraid that they'd be working past Vince's bedtime because he's fucking ancient now. But still, I was disappointed in a lot of that kind of stuff. The whole you and what you said earlier about how Hunter was censoring Shawn Michaels in the second, third hour of the show. I'm like, no, because even I heard when they were, swearing on camera and not one person was bleeping it out. They tried, but it didn't work. So, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, the show was a clusterfuck. I mean, the whole fucking thing was a clusterfuck. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
What made no sense? Sorry. You know what made no sense? It's like, they've done simulcasts in the past.
Yeah.
When has it ever worked for them? Like, when has it ever worked?
Not once.
No, remember, and it just had the way it was done, it was like, oh yeah, this is just WrestleMania 2.
Yeah.
This is WrestleMania 2. This is just a clusterfuck, like you said.
I don't know. It sucks because like the hype train was definitely real for this show. Like people were actually looking forward to it. Like people online on my Facebook or whatever, we're going crazy for this show. And they're like, oh man, Austin, and now APA and Taker's supposed to come out, and it's like after a while it just dwindled down. But I think it just falls onto what Pat was saying for weeks, where it was, okay, the Legends are gonna come out, but it's WWE. Everyone should not get so excited because they find ways to not construct everything that great.
Well, it's like anything they do is they take something that should be a sure thing. Like, how hard? Like it doesn't compute sometimes. Like they have the talent, they have the names, they still have talent within their roster. Huge guys that have been wrestling for decades. When Jericho was in WWE, what the fuck did they really do with him? We had maybe one or two like good matches, and then they did like the whole list of Jericho. But then he went to like Japan, and he was a fucking main eventer and like one of the biggest matches of the year already. And it's like, okay, you had a big name in your company that should be main eventing, or at the very least in bigger, feuds, and you really didn't do much with them. You did like a kind of a comedy act with Kevin Owens, and looking back at it, yeah, it was entertaining, but I mean, it's not like something they could have done. They could have had a sure thing with any one of the guys that they've had so far. Shinsuke Nakamura should not be as bad in the company as he's been. Yes. And he shouldn't be booked as poorly as he's been. It's something that should have been a sure thing, and they fucked it up. Like that's my mentality. They have sure things, and they find ways of fucking it up.
That's how they've always done it.
I don't get it. I personally have no words for.
Well, I got one for you. Let me bring you back about 23 years ago. They had a guy that could have been the most over heel, and I'm talking monster fucking heel, in the WWE. He could have been the champion. He could have held the belt, and they could have built this thing between him and Shawn. Maybe Vader. When they had Vader, they really dropped the ball, and so this is just more of the same. guys. I mean, it's the same thing. You know, they have they sign an amazing worker like Nakamura, and then they completely fuck him over. You know, before long, he's going to be opening shows, not mid card. You know, and it sucks because a guy, you know, I have been watching. You know, I've been trying to get back into it, and I have watched this guy. He's a tremendous talent, and holy shit, man! I mean, God, they're just killing him because. Yeah. And they don't give a fuck about what he's going to do after he leaves the company. Once he's done with the WWE, they don't give a shit, you know? And it's like they don't care that this is going to kill him on the indies or back in Japan. They don't give a shit. They don't give two shits, and they never have, and they never will, because they're this huge conglomerate. They know they can throw together a shit show like the 25th anniversary of Raw. They get their big money. They don't give two hoots who cares, and that's the end of it. You know, they book their talent the way they see fit, and they always do it wrong.
See, another issue that I have with them, and this has become really apparent now that, like, going past just watching what they've been able to do since Wrestle Kingdom, and it just, you know, I mean, even from last year's Wrestle Kingdom, and then going back to WWE and watching their product. Every fucking match is the same. Every match is the fucking same in WWE, and it's the same. It's the same fucking promos. It's the same matches. Nothing is fucking changed. Everything is just it's bad fucking chain wrestling into a fucking arm hold, and then into a bad fucking, you know, chokehold, and then they go to commercial, and then they do a spot, and then they're like flopping around trying to sell for like fucking 2 minutes. Then they go to a commercial, and then it's just Michael Cole droning on about how you should buy the network or whatever the fuck they're trying to shill at the moment, and it's just like it's every single fucking match. The only matches that you are like tend to be any good is when like they let AJ and Cena like let loose and like try to emulate some stuff from like Ring of Honor and New Japan, and it's just so sad. Like, you have all this talent, but they gotta wrestle this cookie cutter generic fucking safe style that they think is safe, but then they end up like they let somebody do a fucking move that they've done a million times on the indies. Oh yeah, it's fine, and then they get hurt because they've been wrestling the cookie cutter style too much, and then they have to try and estimate. Because I was watching something, and they made a good point. They say the reason that all these guys end up getting hurt is because in New Japan and Ring of Honor, they let loose. Like, if they're doing a punch or a kick, they know how much they have to estimate before they reach the guy's face, and they hold back at a certain point. Let's say they kind of have been like, it's muscle memory at a certain point. And in WWE, they do like a ton of live shows, and then they gotta make it look like he actually hit him, but it's further away than normal. And then they go to pay-per-views where they have to make it look more realistic because the cameras are right up their ass, because with the way that they do the camera work in the pay-per-views, it's all fucking janky and wonky. So they have to make sure that they actually come really close to hitting them, because they're trained. They said that they're trained one way for like the regular Raws and you know, like the live shows, and then they have to wrestle a completely different way when it comes to like the pay-per-views, or they actually have to let loose. And that's why you always see guys getting fucking hurt in pay-per-views. It's because they don't know how to fucking stop themselves anymore, because they're like going over and over and over again in the same way, and then when they finally let loose again, they fucking like clock somebody. And that's what happened with Kenta with the freaking GTS. Like, the guy's so like restrained, and then when he finally they're telling him, oh yeah, let loose, he fucking, like, he doesn't know how to restrain himself anymore. He fucking just, like, cracks the guy in the fucking head.
Yeah, I want to get Earl's take on, like, something here within, like, the structure of the WWE as terms of, like, how much these guys work and whatnot. Alright, Earl, since, like, you have, obviously, between the three of us, the most knowledge of being a worker, what would you say is a little, like, better for these guys to do? Is it okay for them to wrestle 5 days a week, or do you think maybe they should get a little more than that? Like, they should get a little, like, an extra day or so, or even, like, a few weeks off?
They should work 7 days a week. Twice on Saturday, twice on Sunday. If you're going to be serious about being in the business, then be serious about being in the business. That is what the business is all about. When you have people that are dedicated to doing what they're doing, having days off, this kind of life doesn't cotton to a wife. If you're going to do that, then fucking retire. The way I look at it, the way I've always looked at it, when I did it, when I was out there, when I was doing what I did, yeah, I was a weekend warrior, but when we had 3 or 4 day shows, and yeah, we did occasionally have 3 or 4 day shows, then we were dedicated to do it. We would have gone 7 days if we could have. But the guys that were doing it and the guys that were complaining, and that's why it's come to this big pussy fest now, because, oh, I need to take a day off, I need to take a week off. No, you don't. Get your ass out there and fucking bump. If you're going to be in the business, be in the business. If not, go fucking sell cars. Well, that's the way I look at it.
Yeah, but here's the thing. The styles in the ring have changed drastically.
It's gotten more choreographed and more pussified. People can't take a bump anymore. Patrick's right. They train them one way and then they have them go do something another. Oh my God, it blows my mind. How can they even call it wrestling anymore? It's not. And remember last night we were talking before, we all went our ways, and I said there's reasons why I'm bitter. This is a big one, because Pat's right. They're fucking killing it, man. They're destroying the business. I watched that New Japan thing, and I was mesmerized, ruling, because I was like, holy shit, they're wrestling.
Yes, but here's one thing I gotta disagree with you with. The great wrestling that we've all been watching in Japan now, they're not doing that every fucking day.
Oh, they're not?
They get some fucking breathers, yes.
Oh, well.
You don't need to wrestle every day.
There's nothing wrong with having a day off. There's nothing wrong with having time off. There's nothing wrong with that.
You need your body. Listen, this is at the period where in pro wrestling now the business has changed for the better in the sense of they're avoiding concussions. They're avoiding fucking everything traumatic to happen to these guys. So you can't have them go out there 7 days a week and then by the time they're like fucking 40. Oh man, I need to take pain medication, and then boom, there you go. They're gone by 45. Like, those days are done. That's the problem. That's why these guys can't wrestle every fucking day, because all the guys in the past got addicted to drugs because they're in pain. So
there is that drawback, the drug addiction.
But personally, I would rather see 3 phenomenal matches than like 7 mediocre ones.
Exactly.
And that's the problem with WWE. It's like, you have 7 mediocre matches per week because they want to like shove the product down people's throats. But then New Japan will do like 3, 4 matches. Maybe one match will be kind of like not as good. Like, it'll be like still, it would still be like a 5-star match in WWE.
Here.
But if you're the other 3 matches are going to be like fantastic, edge of your seat kind of matches. I don't care to see like another 2 or 3 matches. I'm fine with it. I don't want to see, like, if Kenny Omega and Jericho were like 4 or 5 matches and you only had like a semi decent one, and when it comes to Japan, it comes to the indies, it's quality over quantity. And WWE doesn't understand it because they want the quantity. They want to sell tickets. They want to be able to go, they're killing their own business. Because when they're injuring guys that are used to wrestling in a certain way, like you're taking these guys from Japan that when they're young lions, they're taught to let loose. They wrestle, and this is from Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega said it himself. He said, in Japan, the way that they learn to wrestle is so much different than the West. Because they wrestle based on their emotions and their feelings. So if they feel like doing a certain move at a certain time to invoke a certain emotion, they do that. Now, he says when a lot of these Japanese guys go to America and they try to wrestle in, the cookie cutter Western style, in WWE. So he says like if they go to like CMLL and a lot of other wrestling organizations, even in like England or in Canada, they're fine. But when they try to wrestle that like restrained style of wrestling that WWE does, it doesn't work because it fucks them up. Like it screws up their style. They try to do a move, and then like if once they're released and they are allowed to do something, they end up hurting somebody because they don't have that like self-control anymore. Like when they go to do like a knee or an elbow, it's like a caged animal. Like they open up the fucking cage, and then the guy goes and like elbows somebody in the face, and he doesn't realize because he's trying to invoke that emotion during a pay-per-view or live show or something, and he fucking low keys that motherfucker in the face. Because he doesn't know how to restrain himself anymore. Because you've been keeping the guy completely bottled up, and he's trying to invoke the emotion of his fucking parisu, his fucking strong style. So when you hear like stories about like a Japanese wrestler just fucking cold clocking somebody, it's not really their fault. They've been trained a fucking way to wrestle, and that's how they've always been trained. And taking a guy from one style and making him trying to make him wrestle in WWE, it's oil and water. Let them wrestle the way they want to wrestle. Like it would make more fucking sense if you take the Japanese guys and you say, yeah, this is strong style wrestling, and advertise it as strong style wrestling. Don't make it a fucking regular WWE match.
Here's the issue that'll come with the idea of that is because if you do that in WWE land, right? You come out there and go, oh, here's Nakamura, this guy's king of strong style, will cave your fucking teeth in, and then a fan will look at it and go, so wait, no one else is really hitting each other? It'll exploit the fact that Nakamura's really kicking the shit out of people, and then it'll go to everyone else, oh man, like, so John Cena really can't throw a punch?
Well, that should be obvious to begin with.
But here's the thing.
No, but that's the same thing with the heart. Like, okay, instead of calling him strong style, and so okay, think about it like this: instead of doing strong style, bring back fucking hardcore. Bring back hardcore and put Nakamura into the hardcore division.
Can't do that. Too many of the guys were getting hurt.
Oh, you mean to tell me people were actually getting hurt going down a fucking slip and slide trying to pin fucking Headbanger Mach? Come on.
Those were fun. Hey,
by the way, guys, real quick, I'm just going to say this. You had 2 locations, right? How fucking tremendous would it have been if you had, like, someone put, like, I don't know, Tim White or whoever. You had some silly referee from back then, or even Earl Hebner. Bring back Earl Hebner, someone silly. And go, hey, so, I got a question, Kurt Angle. I found this in the warehouse, and I don't know what to do with it. And he pulls it out of a bag, and it's the hardcore title. You hear the crowd just go crazy. And then 3 hours, you go from location to location of, like, Heath Slater and, like, whoever the fuck going after this fucking hardcore title.
Oh, that'd be great.
I think, and, like, Matt Hardy, and then Matt Hardy's like, yes! like, you could have done a lot of fun shit with that.
Yeah, that actually would have been fantastic if they had brought back the hardcore title for, like, one night.
I think people would have fucking popped for it. And then, like, they could have gone, like, I don't know, they could have gone, like, The Miz or someone to, like, fucking just throw the title in the trash or whatever, and be like, this belt is trash, just like the old school or whatever. They could have had someone. They could have had someone do it.
Oh no! You know what would have been fantastic? This is what I would have done at the end. You would have had. So the show is about to close, and then you just see, you see, I don't know, Heath Slater or somebody fucking trying to run off with the belt, and then you see Mick Foley trip him up and pin him, and then run off with the belt.
Dude, you know how tremendous that would be? That would legitimately be full circle on camera, because he was the first hardcore champion, and now he's the actual last.
The last one, yeah. Or, you know, he gets the belt, and he thinks he's won the belt, and he's the last champion. Then all of a sudden you hear, "Stand back! There's a hurricane coming through."
Oh, you could have brought him back.
Yeah. Yeah, but they brought back a lot of. I mean, I was happy to see Godfather, and I was happy to see, you know, I was really happy to see Brother Love.
Is that his actual wife?
What is it?
Is that Charles White's actual wife?
I don't know.
I gotta find out, because I was like,
I don't know, because she was hot. Yeah, she was smoking hot, I thought.
Oh, sheesh.
She one of them high-class, high-paying hoes. Oh, man. Yeah, it was good to see him, and I'm glad they did the spot. The spot they did was with Mark Henry, because that was kind of cool. And that was nice to see. Yeah, it was, and to see, you know, to have him, it was kind of like a full circle thing with him and Mark, because, you know, they were in the Nation of Domination together, and then they were, you know, they did other stuff together, and then they branched off, and they gave Charles Wright that wonderful gimmick of the Godfather, which was just amazing, way better than Kama, you know, and the Boogeyman. To see the Boogeyman back on TV was cool.
They had so many fucking guys that could still go, that could have had this belt. You could have had fucking him get it, the hardcore belt that night. You could have fucking...
Oh, yeah.
Even bring back hardcore Holly.
Yes, that'd have been awesome.
Oh, you know what would have been tremendous? Oh, Pat, I'll one up your idea. Have fucking hardcore Holly and fucking Nakamura go at it for the hardcore title.
Oh,
Tell me motherfuckers won't get their fucking shit kicked in.
I was gonna say, you couldn't hurt either one of them, so go for
it. Yeah. Hardcore Holly just fucking stiffs him with a lead pipe. Come on!
You might be Mr. Chinese, but I'm the big shot. He's what? He's Japanese. I don't give a fuck. They all look alike.
Chinese, Japanese, linguis.
Yeah, exactly.
These knees. I got one more thing to say about Raw 25, and then we'll move on.
The fact that he's making fun of it, even though he was guilty of that last year.
Well, yeah. Hey, Pat, I had my moment too. You know, it happens. It happens. We got one more thing here to talk about. That's not actually a direct part of the show, but I just want to point out something that good old Rip Rogers had to say. He gets on Twitter and goes, "For all the fans not liking the Raw 25th anniversary show, maybe you should," and his spelling is like a fucking 15-year-old girl on fucking AOL Messenger. "Maybe you should apply for a job in creative so you can show everybody how smart you are."
No, we'd be fired in fucking 2 weeks. We'd be giving them too good of an idea.
Yeah, because they would have the excuse, "Oh, USA Network won't go for that. Oh, the sponsor will go for that. That sponsor won't go for that." No. Oh, so they're definitely cool with you coming out there with Miller Lights and Steve going out with middle fingers, but they're not okay with actual simulated fucking wrestling moves. All right, fine. You can't change the actual structure of the show. We're not asking for a lot here.
You never noticed that, like, the reason that we get these really terrible storylines is because the writing staff just doesn't give a shit anymore.
No,
man. They know they're gonna be like fired within a fucking week or so, and they're just like, Bailey with the fucking what would Vince Russo do?
What would Vince
put
Russo
kendo stick
do?
on a pole.
What would Vince Russo do? You know,
like,
that reminds me of the South Park movie.
He would invent water.
That reminds me of the South Park movie. Instead of what would Brian Boltano do or whatever, it's what would Vince Russo do.
Oh god.
And you can just see them making a song about it. What would Vince Russo do if he were here right now? He would put this match on a poll.
He'd fuck up a match or two. That's what Vince Russo would do.
Yeah.
Make David Arquette the champion.
Oh.
He would make himself hold the belt because that's what Vince Russo would do.
He'd make fun of a guy with Bell's palsy.
Oh man, did you guys? Also too, did you guys catch the picture of JR and Jerry Lawler sleeping?
Yes.
I see that everywhere. It's like, okay, that's there are people who are like, oh, that's the epitome of of fucking what Raw 25 was. But anyway,
it was bad though. It was really fucking bad. Oh my god.
It was better than, I don't know. It was a better than average Raw. It was like it wasn't like the best Raw of all time by any fucking means, but it's better than most of the shit they've been doing for the past couple of months.
Not by much.
Not by much, but by a good amount. And
I mean, there's been better, like there's been better Raws. Like last year's had better fucking Raws than this. I don't know. The amount of hype that they gave this 25th anniversary, and they just kind of like, oh, you know what, fuck it, it's fine. We'll just use a bunch of nostalgia acts. We'll give the Miz the fucking Intercontinental belt.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
I mean, I was
Well,
happy about that.
Well,
I was happy
Pat,
about Miz winning.
Well, last night when I saw that happen, and I messaged Derek. I didn't know at the time that he was named in the steroid thing. My only thought was, okay, they're having him drop the belt now so he can win the Rumble later. So, but
that still could happen. But I mean, like,
still stand by that.
That doesn't make it, but that still doesn't make any sense because he lost to the Miz, and then we're supposed to take him seriously into beating Brock Lesnar.
No way in hell.
Like I love the Miz, but I would never see the Miz beating Brock Lesnar ever in a million years. Like it doesn't compute. They haven't booked him.
Dude,
like
even if Brock Lesnar went out there and agreed to lay down for the Miz, I still wouldn't buy it.
No, I mean, like the way he's been booked,
right?
The past year, like with him winning, because he's either, it's all he only wins because of distractions or because of interference. So he's never been really booked really strongly. He's the chicken shit heel. He's just really good on the mic. He has good ring work during certain matches, but he's an Intercontinental champion. He is a prototypical Intercontinental champion where he's good, but he's not going to beat your main event guy. He's like a honky tonk man, or like a Jim Neidhart or something, something like along those lines. Good wrestlers, good in the mid card, but they're not gonna. I'm telling you, they're not gonna win the fucking main belt unless it's a kind of weaker champion. But I would never picture the Miz beating Brock Lesnar. So to have Roman Reigns get pinned by the Miz, even with the distraction and the interference, him getting pinned makes Roman look fucking weak. So you're making you just had your top guy get pinned by the Miz, and he's going into Royal Rumble, and we're expected to believe that he's going to win the entire Royal Rumble and then beat Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. Does not fucking compute. Does not fucking compute at all.
I can totally. Yeah, I'm with you. I can totally buy him winning the Rumble, but there's no way I would buy him beating Lesnar.
I don't even really buy him winning the Rumble anymore. Like it makes no sense on a storyline wise. They've had no build up to it. Like they've had the prior confrontation between him and Lesnar, but they haven't had anything like any little like nods or any type of interaction since like I don't know what was it, Survivor Series or SummerSlam. They've had no reaction. At least like if you're gonna do a long story, shouldn't it be like they fucked him over of the belt, and the belt he had the belt previously, and he wants to have revenge. It's like there's nothing there. They had a match in like 3 years ago. Well, no, 3 years ago, and Reigns ended up losing because of the cash in. So really, there's no fucking feud there between him and Lesnar. There's nothing. There's no build up to make this an actual an actual primed match that you want to see for WrestleMania. It doesn't make any sense. Even if the match is good, it's like there's no build for it. There's nothing there legitimately to make you go, oh, I want to see Roman Reigns beat the fuck out of Lesnar. There's nothing there. I would, if I was a betting man, do the Impact wrestlers, do they have like a 6-month like the contract thing or what?
Do Impact wrestlers actually get paid, or they actually still get cotton candy to ride on the Ferris wheel?
No, I mean, you know how the WWE has that 6-month clause where they can't, like the do not compete clause?
It's a 90-day.
Oh wow.
Oh, I think, dude. I'll one up you. When did Lashley? When did he leave Impact?
Last week. Same with EC3.
Fuck. I was gonna say if they left early, I would, and Lashley was.
Hold
like,
up, I'm gonna see if Impact has a clause. I'm gonna look.
They'd be stupid not to.
I honestly doubt it.
I would put Lashley over in the Royal Rumble like immediately.
But here's why. Here's why I don't know.
He's a better wrestler than Brock. You have Lashley come in, beat Brock for the fucking Universal title, and then you actually have a legitimate champion who's going to show up and who's going to put on decent matches. So,
do you know the one wrestler that I would honestly say, if it was a shoot situation, I mean like a complete straight up shoot situation, that I think would not only beat Brock Lesnar, but would actually tie Brock Lesnar into a knot, would be Sheldon Benjamin.
Yeah.
No,
but the way they've been him now.
Oh, I know it's shit. But what I mean is, if it was down to a situation of someone who could take down Brock Lesnar, as in like legitimately take him down, Sheldon Benjamin, he was doing that years and years and years ago. So
I mean, I could still see Bobby Lashley, because Bobby Lashley's like older than Brock, but he looks in better condition and is actually still doing MMA.
He's older than The Rock. I didn't know that.
Huh?
He's older.
No, he's older than Brock. I mean,
older than Brock. Okay, that was other. I mean, I knew they would never get The Rock for the show, for last night's show.
Yeah,
but how
such a fucking waste.
I know, and I don't remember seeing Mick Foley. Was he there?
I don't know.
Mick Foley wasn't there.
I don't think he was. No.
Yeah, Mick wasn't there either. Those were two of the biggest guys that influenced, Raw in the last 25 years, and I don't know. They dropped the ball on a lot of things.
Why couldn't it have been a thing of, hey guys, we're just, we're gonna get like video messages from fucking via satellite from Mick Foley and The Rock. Hey guys, sorry we couldn't make it tonight. From Edge. Like, I know Edge was filming a movie, which is why he couldn't be there. But why couldn't it have been a thing of, hey guys, sorry, I'm here filming. I would have loved to have been there, but I just wanted to say I don't want to go without notice. This is, Raw, congratulations on 25 years, and then they say their catchphrase or whatever. It's like that would have been fucking fine. The crowd would have been like,
no, they didn't even need to be there. They could have just filmed it and then had like a whole little segment behind, have a little segment, have it like The Rock show up. And
all right. Like
and
The Rock.
No, you could have had months prior. You could have The Rock and Mick Foley do the Rock and Sock connection.
They could have even done it recently. Like, Mick Foley fucking is a Disney freak. He practically lives in fucking Orlando at this point. I don't, so, you know, I don't doubt for a second they could have just had him go, hey, you want to go over to wherever The Rock is in Florida and fucking just go do like a 5-minute skit for Raw?
Right.
They would have been like, that would have been fine.
In Rock's house with Mr. Sacco. It's like, Rock, I came to visit you in Miami.
It's Mr. Sacco.
Oh god. No,
Yeah.
it's just like it's just pure laziness. Just fucking pure laziness. That's what they should call. No, this is what they should call WWE from now on. They should just call it the fucking laziness wrestling entertainment.
You know what I will
like
say?
LWE. That's what they should fucking call it.
You know what I would, yeah, the one thing I will give them props for, I'll give them props for the actual fucking being smart enough to actually make the Manhattan Center look like how it did, to almost without having the WWF logo. Because, I don't know about you, like, girls, but, like, I don't know if you watched, like, the actual, like, the way the matches were on there as opposed to Barclays, but it's like, I'd rather them fucking just do shows out of that. Because I like the structure of, like, it's just a simple ring with a simple little walkway, and the crowd is fucking amped up, and, you know, they're vocal, and you could hear everything a lot better, as opposed to this giant set of, dude, we need our LED, everything needs to be lit up.
Was this in the Grand Ballroom, or what?
Yeah, this was upstairs. This wasn't
okay, it was just,
the Hammerstein.
It was where, this was where, like, they did the original show.
Yeah, I was up there for TNA shows.
I mean, all the way down to the Ico Pro poster.
That was cool. I actually,
that was cool,
Sid, you know, Sid, I actually marked out more. I marked out more for the Ico Pro fucking poster than I did for guys like $1 Million Man.
That was cool to see Ted again. That was cool.
Well, but every time they do one of these, fucking Ted's there, and it's like,
was Virgil there?
Oh,
no.
you know he wasn't in. I heard the list. I heard the list of guys that weren't invited, like directly invited, were longer than the list of the guys that actually did show up.
No kidding.
Like, I heard Coco Beware wasn't invited, Lita wasn't invited. And we're talking like
really, Lita?
Lita was not invited.
She's been doing work with them like last year too.
She was not invited. RVD was not invited, and we're talking like we're talking them actually saying, "Hey, you know, we're not, you know, we're just completely not going to ask you." Yeah, we're not going to ask them, and then them getting on and saying, "Well, WWE didn't invite me, so that's why I didn't show up." Like Lance Storm. Lance Storm makes sense because he's always talking shit about how much the show sucks, so that makes a lot of sense.
You know who I'm surprised wasn't there was Trish Stratus.
She was.
She was on the show last night?
Yeah, when they did the women segment.
Oh, I had it on fast forward. I didn't even see her.
Yeah, she was there. They had it pissed me off. A lot of that segment pissed me off because they're like, "Oh, here are some of the women, some of the great women that made Raw fucking what it is today or whatever." And the first people that come out are the fucking Bellas.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I watched it on fast forward, but I didn't even know what the segment was about.
Yeah,
amazing. Like,
we are the greatest thing to ever happen to the history of the sport.
Like, my tits falling off. I'm gonna fix myself.
They should
John.
They should have had Sunny out there.
Happy Raw 25th, everybody.
Let me tell you about the time I took drugs because I was dating some asshole and I was fucking. Hey, Shawnee, you want to have a little ride on the sunny side of me?
Because of how she sounds, all you had to do was put like black face paint on her, and then people would have been like, "Wow, Luna Vachon is actually still alive."
It was a work the whole time.
No, I mean if you put, you could also put the LOD armor on her because she kind of just sound like.
Sonny's coming out there. Wow.
She'd be like,
Right now, tonight, we're gonna celebrate Raw! And I'm Sonny, and what Sonny wants, Sonny gets! Tell him, Hawk!
Yeah.
No, tell him, Sonny. Wow. Where's this? What happened to the smoking guns? I could smoke his gun.
And that's another one.
And Billy Gunn's just like, goddamn Hunter, keep her over at fucking Barclays, would you?
Right, and don't bring her over here. Because
Where he'd be like, hey, can we call Bart Gunn? We'll have her go home with him.
No, second thought, bring her over. Me and Sean will tag team her for old time's sake. Go ahead.
What say you, X-Pac? You've done one of these videos, huh?
oh no, Eric, you see like Dolph Ziggler in the background. It's like, can I get a ride? No, you're too young.
Oh, yeah.
You're not ready.
You're not ready.
You can't handle this. It's too much for you. It'll kill you.
It's.
Oh no!
Ziggler's like, thank God I left.
Shawn Michaels, mini me.
Nah,
mini me.
You know what would have been fantastic if they like waited to do that angle with Dolph Ziggler like dropping the belt. He should have just came out with that U.S. title, waited like a month, and just come out at Manhattan Center and be like, I lost my smile of this place. He should have just came out, I lost my smile. And then just dropped the belt.
Fucking CM Punk thing where he comes out and he's like facing Bobby Roode for the fucking U.S. title now. Is that what's gonna happen now?
Oh, probably. I'm hearing that it might be them two in a ladder match at Mania with 2 U.S. titles.
Oh, that's so fucking stupid.
They're doing that angle again.
They've done that angle a million fucking times.
I was gonna say, man, how many times have we seen the same belt? You know, and I'm surprised. You know, they could have at least, like we were talking about earlier, they could have had Bret Hart maybe film a segment and just say, hey, I couldn't be there, but you know, best there is, the best there was, and all that shit that he does.
Instead of doing little fucking segments, I don't know, use some of the guys that can still fucking work and have them do an actual match.
Oh, can't do that. Yeah, that was the one thing I was surprised when I saw X-Pac throw the X Factor on the old boy there last night. My only thought was, I hope he doesn't rip his asshole again.
Oh.
Who did he do? He did it to Stroh's boy there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Scott Dawson.
Scott Dawson. When he hit him with the X Factor, my only thought was, oh my God, don't rip your ass.
What do you think of the?
That's a whole new kind of pain, man.
He can't rip his ass. He's gonna be dancing in Philadelphia.
Yeah. That's it.
That's an inside joke.
All right. Basically, one of our good friends who's just moved to Philly. He reminds us sometimes of X-Pac, and he's a professional dancer.
By a professional dancer, you mean what? Like a Chippendale?
No, like. I mean, yeah, I guess so.
He strips in a fucking in a Speedo, and they the old ladies pour fucking hundreds down his dong.
There you go. Hey, laugh all you want. That's an honest living.
Oh God.
Oh my God! But
he's living the Val Venus gimmick for real.
There's another guy who could have been on there but wasn't.
Who?
Prince Albert.
Val Venus.
Hello, ladies.
Yeah,
no, they wouldn't do that because of all the fucking sexual harassment shit.
Oh, you mean like Enzo Amore?
Oh my God, that's ridiculous, man. If he really assaulted someone, then yes, crucify him. But I don't
blackball him from the business, get him out. I don't, and also too, I would like people to mention in case they hear this that know me. Yes, I know some of his family, I know some of his cousins, and I'm not gonna give away names. But with all due respect to your cousin there, Enzo, aka Eric Arndt, if he actually did do this, he's a piece of shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I never.
I'm sorry. I can't. We can't fuck. No one. Fucking date rape is not fucking cool. It's fucking bullshit. So if he actually did was one of these assholes that actually did do that, yeah, fuck him. But so here's the tweet. I want to mention this. This is from Philomena. What? How the fuck you pronounce?
Philomena, I think.
Philomena. Alright, and her Twitter handles is at Miss Gucci, which that doesn't sound in the least bit not she doesn't sound like she's not classy. But anyway.
Well, yeah, there you go.
She wrote, okay, it's been long enough, and I have been so scared to share this. I was raped in mid-October by WWE ENZO Amore. By the WWE ENZO Amore, also known as Eric Arden, that's not his name, is Arndt, but whatever. And Tyler Grosso and Too Poor let it happen as accomplices. I was in a mental hospital for 45 days after it. They are not good people. That's all that was said, and that's when the internet was like, wait, what? And then WWE they were like, okay, we're going to suspend this guy. So that's why it's.
I mean, I think
it's a Twitter thing.
It might be too early to fully suspend.
It's way too. It's
they're just
early.
They're taking the not taking any chances. There hasn't. I looked into it. There hasn't been any formal charges yet put on him. So they should have just waited until the formal charges. But then with WrestleMania so close and Royal Rumble, and then they're gonna have to give the belt to somebody else, because if they're suspending him, then the cruiserweight title is in fucking limbo right now, and it's another black eye up for them, because cruiserweights have been fucking between the past year, they've had 2 guys defect. They've had 1 guy go in and beat the shit out of his wife, and now they have their champion is getting charged with is on the brink of being charged with sexual assault. So it's a black guy for them, especially in this division where people are they know people aren't watching, they know people don't want to watch it, and the fact that you're the only guy that has been getting any type of notoriety in the division is on the brink of being charged with rape. Yeah,
so, see, here's one thing I want to say about all this, where it's like I said basically online yesterday when we were chatting, it was like, I understand the whole it should be innocent until proven guilty, but I don't blame WWE by taking precaution if this happens to be legit. But also, too, I'm not going to be one of these people that are going to sit there and go, oh, man, he definitely did it, he's a scumbag. No, let's let the story unravel a little bit, because I'm not going to go off of just some girl on Twitter saying it. There should have been a fucking police report. She should have had a copy of the police report. It should have been a lot more detailed than the way it was just written like that. The name, she couldn't even get his name right. It's like, you couldn't have done a little bit of a research just to get his proper name. You couldn't even spell his last name properly. Little details like that bother me when you're trying to accuse someone of something. It's almost like, to me, I know it's totally nitpicking here, but it's almost like if you get into a fender bender and you're trying to remember the person's license plate, and you're like, oh, I don't remember if it was an S or a 5. It's no, you gotta get every fucking detail fucking accurate to the T if you're gonna go out there and accuse someone of something, because the littlest shit will come back to fucking bite you and make you look like an idiot.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, the thing with this is we don't know this, because she was saying that she was dealing with fucking PTSD from it, so she could be kind of like really fucked up because of it. That could be the case, but like you said, she could be looking for money. It could be a situation where he fucked her, and they were both really fucked up. But I mean, even then, it doesn't look good on him because she was saying they were in a fucking hotel room doing drugs. So obviously, if Enzo hasn't been caught with a drug ban, then there's something obviously wrong with their drug and alcohol testing in WWE. Obviously he's either using someone else's piss or he's found a way to detox himself so it doesn't show up on their test kits. So that's also another situation because she was obviously saying drugs and alcohol were being used. In the company is supposed to be fucking not drug free.
Yeah, they're supposed to be proactive with it.
Yeah.
I don't. That's why it's like, does Enzo come off the cross? Does he come across as the type of guy that's gonna sit there and drink fucking Long Island iced teas and fucking, or even like tequila and club soda? Of course he does. But does he come across as a guy that, now that he has a big time job, is gonna go, oh man, I don't give a shit if I gotta work tomorrow on a fucking house show. I'm gonna do this line real quick. No, he's not fucking that stupid. It's just like, I don't know, man. It's like
you underestimate the stupidity of people with money.
I would I try to give some people the benefit of the doubt sometimes, but if
I've learned in life, when you give people the benefit of a doubt, it ends up biting you in the ass. So you have to realize that most people are fucking idiots, and they will piss away any privilege that they had just for some benefit of some kind of either to get a fix for drugs or sex or something. They will piss everything away just for their own benefit. So
yeah,
let's be honest. It's not the first time we've heard of a fucking guy I mean, this. To be honest, even so, with all this happening, kind of a fucking when you really go back and think about it, if they had allowed him to keep wrestling, as fucked up as it is, it wouldn't be the first time they've allowed a fucking known rapist to be on their programming.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, anyone?
I mean, yeah, and he did serious time over that.
So it's one of those situations where it's like, okay, it's a weird situation with WWE, is because they have this reputation as being a skeezy company. Wrestling in general has been considered skeezy. When you hear about some of the stories and some of the things that have been done by the boys, when you hear everything that's ever been done, it gives people the idea that the business is fucking kind of trash. It is what it is. I mean, we've heard the stories, we've seen what goes on, and it sucks because as entertaining as wrestling is, and it's no worse or better than any other sport or entertainment industry, and yet it's widely regarded in terms of entertainment as like the skeeziest and most disgusting of all the entertainment venues, and it's sad, but when the boys do shit like this, it doesn't fucking help it.
Yeah, I mean, it's I understand, and Earls, I understand. Like last night, you were trying to say, like, oh, you know, this is what it used to be, and you know, and like back then, it was a little more like you knew what you're getting yourself into, and it was more consensual in the sense of like.
Oh, it was extremely consensual. Those girls.
Yeah, from that extent, I guess I understand.
You know, you didn't have to sweet talk them, man. It was just like, hey, how you doing? Good to see you. Let's go to the car. And I'm telling you, it was literally that easy. You know.
How romantic.
Dead serious though. That's how it was, man. You know. Hey, let me tell you something. I have been, you know, and I've been removed from the business, but I've been with rats. And I know what it's like, you know. I'm not saying this girl was a rat. I'm not saying that. Chances are she was. But back in the day, if a girl was doing drugs with a wrestler, the drugs were the perk. Okay, the drugs were the perk. The drinking was a perk. It was the sex they were after, and they were doing that. And this is kind of where it takes away from the business nowadays, is because back then, even on an independent level, back then those girls think this guy's famous. Okay, now WWF and WCW aside, because those guys were famous, but I mean that's just how it was, you know. And so if Enzo really did do this, man, you're right, fuck him, he's a piece of shit, and I hope he's fired and never works again. But he didn't. The whole thing about forcing himself or raping a girl, that doesn't make any fucking sense. It doesn't compute in my brain, because that's not, god dang, that's not what it was like, you know. And if that's what he's doing something wrong. You don't have to force a rat. Rats are right. That's what they're for. That's their sole fucking job. That they have. Do you know an inside joke between rats? Wait, you're gonna love this. There is this exists. There is an inside joke with ring rats. Back in the day, the inside joke was, I've got my WWF knee pads, I've got my WCW knee pads, and I've got my independent knee pads. Okay? That was an actual shoot inside joke from the rats to the rats. Okay? And, you know, the only thing you really had to worry about back then was catching some kind of weird disease you couldn't cure with 2 nights Tylenol and a good night's sleep.
Girls, what was it?
What was what?
What'd you get?
Oh, like AIDS, gonorrhea, shit like that. You know?
No, he's saying, what did you get?
What did I get? Oh, fuck you, Patrick. You're an asshole.
We have him recorded saying he has AIDS. Gonorrhea.
Fuck you, you're an asshole.
I got the outro today.
Okay. No, but seriously,
do a techno remix of that.
That's just how.
I got AIDS. I got AIDS.
Stop it. No, but that's just how it was back then. I mean, the girls knew what they were there for, and that was it. You know, and for for those who flipped a certain switch, you know, there were guys for that too. So whatever.
Yeah.
But those guys, they always kept it. Those guys always kept it on the down low, and they'd hook up with their guys at the hotels. You know, like they would.
No, I mean, so how were they?
What, the rats? Or the guys? Fuck you.
Yeah. But
Anyway.
it's I don't know. It's like I understand, like, you know, it back then it was a little easier in the business if you were a worker, or like if you did want to fucking smash. It's like it was a little easier in the sense of these girls were more than willing, and now it's like if you are a worker, it's like you do have to try because of the way. But dude, it's not even like a fact of the business change. This is the way society is. Nowadays you get accused of rape just by complimenting a girl in her dress.
Yeah, but you don't even really need to go, like, you don't need to fucking, like,
no, you don't need, I get it.
No,
my thing is, no should be no.
You don't need ring rats because there's fucking Tinder. There are fucking sites where you can go on and, like, find women that will...
But even then, dude, guess what? Guess
like,
what? This is why I think he's an asshole. The guy had a fucking girlfriend that worked in the company. This is what got him in trouble with his fucking... the girl that's on SmackDown, Liv Morgan. They were fucking dating since they both even broke it before they even broke in the fucking business. They were both working at Hooters, and he was a fucking Hooters manager, and she was a Hooters girl in fucking Hackensack, New Jersey, or wherever the fuck. And it's he's ruined that for this.
Of why I would think he would fucking do that, because he's fucking working at a goddamn Hooters, fucking 2, 3 years, 4 or 5 years back. So
I'm trying to think. I think, the people that I know that knew him that used to go there, and they knew him before he was a worker. They knew him as a Hooters manager. I think he left there around 2010, 2011. If I'm not mistaken, and he got signed into NXT with no wrestling experience, which, again, I'm going off what Simon Gotch said, where this guy had no idea who the fuck Manny Fernandez is, and he claims he was a Dusty Rhodes mark, and also, too, he lived 15 minutes away from a wrestling school and never had wrestling experience until prior to going to WWE. And he wrestles just as well as fucking Andy Kaufman did. Actually, Andy Kaufman wrestled better.
I was gonna say, I think Kaufman had a better work ethic at least.
So I don't know. It's at first when this gimmick first came around, the How You Doing and SAWFT, I was like, okay, I'm into it. But now the shit unraveled, and I got to see what the guy is really like. I don't care. I really don't care. People know him. It's my opinion. Fuck this guy, in the sense of. He shouldn't be long in the business. If he does want to be here, he's got a fucking lot of work to do. Just like The Miz did. Just like The Miz was a reality guy. He really didn't belong in the ring from a lot of people. And then he honed his fucking craft. And that's what Enzo needs to do if he's serious. But an allegation like this could make or break him.
No, I mean, I think he's done one way or the other. Even if this is a false allegation.
Yeah.
Yeah, WWE could say, okay, we had enough of this guy.
Yeah, but they're still not going to want to do anything to do with him. Because the whole fucking fact that he was hanging around the wrong fucking crowd and some fucking girl made an allegation.
Yeah.
It fucked up any plans that they had for him in going forward into WrestleMania. And that they have to fucking come up with it on the fly. Of what they're gonna do, and it's another black eye for a division that's already had a bunch of black eyes. Going forward, it makes that division look dumber, and it makes WWE look dumber because they've been dealing with so much bullshit in the past couple weeks. We just found out about the fucking Jey Uso fucking DWI too.
Alright, and I got my opinions about him and Roman in a second, but the last thing I want to say about Enzo, and I'm gonna end it here, is other than we'll wait and see what transpires out of this. All I think for him, the safest thing to do is fucking drop the wrestling thing if you really don't give a shit, and just do what you really feel like you want to, and just become a fucking rapper. Because clearly that's all he does. He doesn't watch tapes of the business. He does not want to learn about the business. Every time I see anything about this guy outside of the business, he's getting drunk with fucking 2-cent rappers. So if that's what you want to do, you want to hang around that, just become a fucking rapper and be done with it.
Yeah, it would make more fucking sense. Or you can be a promoter in something else. He keeps going to UFC and fucking boxing matches and shit. Doesn't seem like he gives a fuck about the business, so
yeah,
go and do something in that regard.
To quote Simon Gotch again, he looks like one of the guys that just wanted to get into wrestling just because he watched a lot of episodes of Raw from '98.
Yeah, pretty much.
Anyway, moving on to the Jey Uso thing with the DWI, I find it odd that WWE still has not taken the belts off of him yet. They still have him aired on TV. So, I don't know if this is a delayed punishment coming, but who's to say they're not going to sweep that under the rug?
They could sweep it under the rug because they're really over right now.
Yeah, it would not be the first time.
Yeah, and especially who their family is.
Exactly.
And the same thing goes for Roman Reigns. They are totally sweeping under the rug. Look, I understand. What happened was a big deal. Mark Wahlberg got caught with fucking this on that steroid scandal too. But
Josh Duhamel, he was like a big thing in the Actually, two guys from the Transformers, because he was in the Transformers movies, I think, prior to 3, and then Mark Wahlberg afterwards. So yeah, both people in the Transformers movie. And then you have Roman Reigns, and I think a couple other like sports stars.
I heard rumors of Christian Bale too.
Wouldn't surprise me. Wouldn't fucking surprise me.
Like you've seen some of the movies he was in prior to Batman. Like you don't get that fucking you don't get that fucking jacked by working out, eating fucking fucking tofu 6 times a day.
No, from what I heard, and this is the actual thing. I heard that from when he was doing Memento, and he was like fucking really fucking no, not Memento. It was the movie where he got really skinny. Like, I mean, like, he looked like a Holocaust survivor. Like, his fucking physique was
Oh
like,
yeah, what was that movie?
The Machinist.
The Machinist. That's right.
He got so fucking skinny that he looked like a Holocaust survivor. Like, he hadn't eaten a fucking square meal in like 2 months. And he got so skinny, and then like within a year he was like buff and like bulked up for Batman Begins. So yeah, that doesn't make any fucking sense, especially when he was saying that his diet consisted of basically eating all the shit that he wanted. Like, he was saying, oh yeah, I was eating McDonald's and like, a bunch of other crap. It's like, okay, that makes sense for getting fat, but it doesn't mean that you're getting the necessary protein to get like muscle definition. So it's like, okay, that would make sense that he was fucking taking steroids because he's getting fucking huge, and he's basically doing like the bare basics for like training. But then again, they're actors. I don't really give 2 fucks about whether or not they're doing it. But what is up with WWE and like the steroid use? Obviously, it's not competitive. That's the thing with WWE that makes no fucking sense. It's like, okay, if they do steroids, then who the fuck cares? They're doing steroids.
That's what I always thought. It's fun.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense because it's not competitive. We all know it's a fucking work.
Right.
There's no competitive edge.
Who gives a shit, I think what they're more afraid of is the roid rage, someone flipping out and killing somebody, or someone, having some kind of a reaction to the steroid itself.
I also think it's not, what I really do think it is? It's because of what happened back in the 90s when Vince was the one that was on trial for giving these guys steroids.
Oh, when he was giving the steroids out like candy, yeah.
Yeah, so that's
dude, that shit was just so that whole sex scandal and steroid thing was so funny to watch. Just because the only thing I remember it really well was like Dave Meltzer sitting there with such a shit-eating grin on his face and next to fucking Vince, and Vince is just pissed the fuck off, and he's just like. Meltzer's was just in there like, I miss my friend Brody. I don't give a shit about Vince.
What was that one drug that The Rock got in trouble for?
Oh shit. Oh fuck.
Because there was this one thing, and he had to apologize to Hollywood and all this other bullshit. Even though what he said that what he was taking was completely legal, and that all these other actors were doing it. Is this the same thing we're talking about with like Christian Bale and Wahlberg and all that? Because the thing about Wahlberg taking steroids is weird because he always had this big monster physique when he was Marky Mark. Well,
I mean, up to keep it,
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah. But plus he's really old now too. So.
Yeah, but who the fuck? But really, these guys are actors. Who the fuck cares? Like, I would understand if it was like a sports star because they're cheating, but there's really no fucking cheating in wrestling or in acting. You're just putting on a physique so you can play a fucking role.
Exactly.
It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it should not matter. Period. And again, because you're right, it's not competitive. There's no one that's going to be like, oh, I'm sorry, but you can't look like that. No, fuck you. You know?
Like,
And,
unless it's a fucking like unless it's something that's like completely illegal, which it might be an illegal substance in the United States, but I would say like it makes no. But the thing that makes no fucking sense about these, like, and I'm not like condoning steroid use because it does fuck up your body pretty badly.
Oh
like,
yes.
If you've ever seen any of the fucking wrestlers from the '80s, they're fucking like their chest is like halved into like tits, where it's like you have like a fucking huge chest gap. Like you ever see Flair and Hogan now when they take their goddamn shirt off? Like their man tits are like on either side of their body.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. It's like and then I don't even want to know what the fuck is happening in their fucking ball sack, because that has to be like three. I remember like again the fucking the Grinch when the heart grows like 3 times bigger. That when you take steroids, the reverse happens to your balls. Yeah. So your balls like shrivel up and they look like 2 fucking like dangly little cherries, Yeah, that's basically what happens when you take fucking steroids. So I say this: if you want to take steroids, then fucking take it. I don't give a fuck unless it's a sports, unless you're a sports star, I don't really care. But you're fucking up your own body. You're making yourself fucking psychotic, and you're making your balls shrivel up, and you're making your body fucking shut down and break down earlier than it needs to. Because a lot of times you see these guys, they might take the steroids, even the fucking sports stars. Eventually, their bodies break down way before before they should. They start to have hip problems, and their bones start to break and become more brittle because the amount of the amount of testosterone is aging your body prematurely. Because you need the fucking testosterone to make your body increase muscle mass, but eventually it fucking ages you. Like you see these guys that took steroids, they fucking look old as shit now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's like at the end of the day, you want to take steroids. That's your fucking decision. It's just I'm more of on the fence of like, if you're gonna take that, don't take anything else. Don't go taking steroids and then all of a sudden you're gonna be taking fucking muscle relaxers.
Mm-hmm.
But what I think is if it doesn't affect your ring work and it isn't a danger to the rest of the person that you're working in the ring with, then it shouldn't have any bearing. Like obviously you shouldn't be taking fucking heroin or crack cocaine right before a fucking match because you're gonna go, whoops, I fucked up a pile driver. Looks like he's dead, or looks like he's not gonna ever work again. I mean, there's obviously people who wrestle like they're on drugs all the fucking time, like Mike Kanellis.
All right. I'm sorry. I gotta intervene here on something that I'm looking online. This is from The Sun, the website The Sun.
Don't fucking trust them. They're a fucking tabloid.
This is why. No. This is legitimate because of people on Twitter. It has actual attachments to fans on Twitter.
I know, but it's a tabloid. It's a big newspaper in England, but it's a fucking tabloid.
Yes, but no, this is actually. Let me explain. People, all they're reporting, and they have Twitter proof to prove it, is that people were upset at Jerry Lawler saying puppies.
What?
There's people. Okay, I'm reading some of the tweets here, and I don't know if I should give names or not because the names are attached.
Don't give names.
But
yeah, we don't want to.
But first tweet.
Don't give him any fame. Fuck that.
First tweet here. Good job, King, talking about puppies on the same day you suspend ENZO for sexual assault and claim you don't tolerate sexual harassment. All right, touche. But okay, next one. It's 2018. Stop letting kings say puppies on TV. These women are competitors, not objects to objectified.
Oh, for the love of Mike.
I wonder how Lawler and his puppies fit inside WWE's tolerance policy for sexual harassment. Can someone tell Lawler... Alright, this is from a chick. Can someone tell WWE to stop... Can someone at WWE tell Lawler to stop saying puppies? You can't talk about revolutionizing the women's division, but have characters objectifying them like they're still divas. Oh my god, I don't know. Puppies in 2018
they
really
kind of have a
WWE?
point. They kind of have a point. I'm
You can't
gonna
do
be.
you can't do nostalgia
gonna-
anymore. You can't do
Yeah,
nostalgia. You legit can't do nostalgia anymore.
Yeah, but it does like unless you have people that are like always been known as divas or managers, and then you say puppies, fine. But when it's like you have like female competitors that's supposed to be legitimate wrestlers.
He's not talking about the women. He did not say anything about any of the women that were there on Raw. All he was saying was, JR, this is the program where I came up with the word puppies.
Yeah, basically, that's
all he said. It wasn't. He wasn't talking about the divas. He wasn't talking about anything with women. All he said was, "This was the program I came up with the word puppies."
Yeah, that's all he said.
I don't think that's wrong. Now, if he was calling them that, yes, that's a problem.
Okay, so then I don't know.
It was taken out of context.
If he'd have come off with, oh well, Charlotte's gonna come out here with her belt and her puppies.
Yes, that's a problem. Yes, but
that would have been a problem.
But him saying the word was created and then people bring up objectify. You're objectifying. No, that's the social justice warriors talking. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's too much.
That's SJW's talking there. So I'm sorry. I'm not one of these fucking. There's context and there's ways of doing things. I'm not one of these fucking social justice fucking goons. So you know, if you don't, and anyone that listens, you don't like this, fuck off.
Basically, yeah.
Oh man.
This is my opinion, but I'm right.
If I understand what like certain people get pissed off, he's like, yeah, when you actually do something and you have a woman and you're treating them like garbage on national television, yeah. But when it's like something like this and he's just like, oh, he just mentioned the word because there was like a reference from like when he said it on Raw all those years ago, who the fuck cares? It wasn't like he was saying fucking like fucked up perverted shit through the entire night. So
yeah,
who really cares?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that was harmless. I think people are they're probably overreacting. It is what it is. You know, it is the business.
All this Raw. You know what this Raw really did for me? It really it set the tone for. They can't get away with nostalgia anymore because any nostalgia that came out of Raw was pretty much a different time period, and it's like everyone's too sensitive. Everyone's too sensitive because way too much shit happened, and you can't blame some people for being sensitive, but you can blame teenagers that all they know now is like Twitter and Facebook and everything bad that happens on it.
Yeah, but I mean, there was a lot of really fucked up shit that happened on Raw. In the fucking Attitude Era. I mean, I still remember the fucking it was the one segment that they had where it was like The Rock was like The Rock had it was the Nation of Domination. They fucking like captured China, and he was saying all this sexual shit and like calling her a stupid bitch and stuff. And then they were like, were basically he was having Mark Henry like make out with China or try to steal a kiss from her. It's like, yeah, that is like really fucking terrible. Like that shouldn't have been done any time period. But you know that's what the attitude was. Like for us, as much good stuff that there was in the Attitude Era, there's a lot of fucked up stuff. Like if you go back and you look at it, it's not like just like you can't look at it with rose-colored glasses. Cause
the necrophilia spot alone will make you cringe.
yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of I mean, even going as far as into like the ruthless aggression era, and you had a guy getting fucking literally, prison like fucking bathroom raped by a fucking big muscly blonde dude. You got fucking things like that, and it's like, yeah, as much as you're irritated about their wrestling being PG, when it wasn't PG, it could be really fucking like stupid and juvenile and posing as being mature. What I want now is for wrestling to be how it is in Japan, where
You took the words right out of my mouth.
I know. I'm dead serious because I think that's the perfect. It's mature enough that you can have blood and cursing and people don't lose their minds, but the women aren't fucking objectified.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Come on, dude. You have the one.
Tokyo Pimp doesn't really. Tokyo Pimp is like one fucking character, and he barely even shows up on the fucking. It's Japan too. They're fucking they're nuts.
Well, how the Japanese have always treated women alone would be enough to scream objectify.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking wrestling. I'm just talking their culture.
Yeah. Yes. But again, the only thing I would say in Japan is I would like to see women's wrestling. I'm not saying like make them equal people in the country. Because it's a different fucking culture, of course. But I'm saying, like, just do women's wrestling. You already do it in other promotions. Why not New Japan? You have a legitimate company called Stardom, and even, like, Noah and DDT and all these other side promotions, they all have fucking women's wrestling in Japan. Why not just do it in the big company? There's nothing wrong with that. For them to just have valets...
It would make sense to do it, but I'm like, I guess because they think that they know that the smaller companies are doing it, they're probably like, let them do it. We'll focus on the men's wrestling and making that as good as it possibly can.
Then if anything else at all, then really bulk up Ring of Honor's women's division. Because right now their division is not good. Like it's like I get what they're trying to do, but like they don't have girls that could go out there and kick ass. Have a lot of the girls that are in that tournament are very, like, I've seen a lot of them work, and they're all very much the diva style. So they like, Brandy Rhodes is still new. I'll excuse her, but it's like, a lot of these girls have been wrestling a little over 5 years, and it's like, they should kind of get with the program already. Like, I'm sorry.
You know what, you also gotta think about it like this. For the most part, WWE has done a good job at poaching all the really good up-and-coming talent.
Oh yeah,
they've done, like, for all the shit we give them, they've done a good job with, like, poaching the female talent for, like, their tournaments and NXT and as bad as they are on Raw and SmackDown with everything they fucking do, they have a lot of legitimate talent, and it's like
down in NXT
all the talent. They poached all the talent in the indies, and now you're stuck with basically the bottom of the barrel. You have maybe one or two, like, huge stars out there that are still, like, slumming it out, but for the most part, you don't really see them in Ring of Honor and in Noah in Japan, and that it's all the big female stars are in WWE.
All I'm saying now is Ring of Honor, when the time comes right where her contract is up in TNA, they should throw some serious money at Rosemary.
Oh yeah, Rosemary, and try to get it's Tessa Blanchard too. That could be your fucking. That's your female. That's your women's division. Get Emma.
Tessa
Blanchard.
Tessa, I don't think, only because her husband just signed to Florida down in WWE. So the fact that Tessa Blanchard's husband's down there, Ricochet, so I think she's going where he is.
Oh, they're married?
Oh yeah.
I thought they were. I thought that was his fiance.
Oh, okay, yeah, all right, then yeah, that's his fiance then. Yeah, I would think like she's going there, but I would be pretty shocked. I would be because like it's like when I found out the news about what's his name there, Raymond Rowe from War Machine and Sarah Logan, aka Mary Dobson, I was like, okay, this guy might end up in WWE mainly because of her, because that's what it is now, dude. It's like if the one significant other is in the main company, the other one's gonna follow suit very soon. That's
the issue with it is WWE always seems to like try to fuck with people unless you've been in the company and been loyal in the company for years. They kind of fuck with your relationship because they either try and fuck you up and like put you in opposite brands, or they end up putting you in like a really retarded gimmick and then like try to make you kind of pissed off at your significant other, because that's what they've done. They did it to Rusev and Lana. They put them in, they're on the same brand, but I mean, for the most part, they don't work together anymore. For a while, weren't they on like opposite brands for a while?
No, they weren't on separate brands. They just pretty much didn't really have much of an involvement.
Yeah, it's just it's stuff like that. It's just like weird things that they do to like try to break the people up. It's like, oh well, they're married. They're shoot married now, so we can't use them for gimmicks. Even though
push them even further. Over. Yeah, my philosophy behind that would be bullshit. Push them even harder.
Yeah.
Let's see how strong this marriage really is.
Yeah.
Hey. No, but I mean, if they had done that, I'm pretty sure right now. I mean, if you had Lana, what's his face, the other vaudevillain. I keep forgetting his fucking
Simon
name.
Gotch.
Oh, Simon Gotch is the one that's still with the company. Okay.
Oh, Aiden English.
Okay.
Simon Gotch is in Ring of Honor now as Simon Grimm.
How's he doing?
He's doing really damn good in the ring. Like he's always been a really good worker. Now he has like a pretty cool gimmick. He has like one of those like old vaudevillain masks or whatever with the mustache, but it's like fucking, it looks like steel, and he has like a laser eye coming out of it.
Neat.
That's pretty cool.
And
I would make him I would make him like a henchman for Marty Scurll.
You know what? It's funny you say that because he actually worked Marty Scurll.
Huh.
On one of the TV tapings.
I feel like his whole gimmick about being like a kind of like a old school villain, almost like the mustache curling like bad guy from the serials from like the 20s would kind of mesh with the whole vaudevillain thing that Simon Gotch is doing. So I feel like that would make sense. Like, don't put him directly in the Bullet Club, but just have him being like a kind of like a henchman for him.
Oh, of course. Ah, shit. Fucking audio. No, I don't know. The one thing I will say, when it comes to a gimmick like that, it's like nowadays if you pair someone that's like in the Bullet Club or whatever, it's almost like they immediately think, oh, he should be in the Bullet Club. And it's like, nah, man.
Not everybody should be in the Bullet Club, but I mean, you could have like a guy who's like, let's say someone's in the Bullet Club, and he has two henchmen that work for him directly, but they're not in the Bullet Club. You can have like a faction within a faction.
They're like the Bullet Club adjacent.
Yeah, like they're like kind of like.
But isn't that what Kenny and the Bucks are? They're called the Elite inside the Bullet Club.
But they're all Bullet Club members. But I mean, like, have a guy who's like he's a Bullet Club member, but he has like two underlings underneath him, and that's how I would do it. Is I would give him two guys and then you have Barney promising yeah, you'll be in the Bullet Club, and there's like, and you could have him every other match. They go up to Marty. He's like, okay, we've been working for how long? When are we going to be able to join the Bullet Club? And then he's just like, yeah, it'll be in a week or two. I'll talk to Kenny and Cody about it. You're totally in. You're totally in.
Yeah, and then like keep stringing them along until finally they had enough, and talk about a great, that would get over.
Yeah, we could call them the numpties.
Oh, Enzo Amore has been released by WWE.
What?
Just came up.
What?
Shout WWE.com. Enzo Amore has been released by the WWE.
Holy shit!
That's a big thank you to my buddy Shane Little, who just sent me this.
Oh
WWE
my
comes to terms with the release of Enzo Arndt, of Eric Arndt, otherwise known as Enzo Amore.
Holy shit!
That's a breaking news story. Yeah,
man.
You want me to see the thing?
Hey guys, we're the first podcast to fucking report that.
Damn right we are.
Yeah.
And
Damn.
do you know why? Because we are Kayfabe Talk fucking Radio, bitch. That's
How
why.
you doing?
How you doing?
Hey, now you're going. And you can't teach that.
Oh my god! Oh, it's fucking. This is hilarious.
Take your ass out the door. Don't rape a girl. Don't do drugs, and you can't teach that. How you do it? You know why you do drugs? That's how you end up getting soft. Now, I haven't said much this whole podcast, but by God, that was funny.
We all took our turns on this podcast.
I have a comment. It's too fucked up even for me to say.
You wanna type it and then we can decide. Type it in.
Yeah, I'll type it out.
Type it in. Yeah, type it in.
By the way, guys, I'll send you the picture of the Simon Grimm, this guy I was talking about.
I want to see the thing you were talking about.
Here's his. Okay, here's his gimmick when he comes out in.
I'm dying to see
something new.
Yeah, obviously, and that's so rare in the business. Something new. Ugh. Don't be so.
Okay.
Let me take a look over here.
All right. Oh, wait, okay. Hang on. Here you go. Oh.
Yeah, you're right, Pat. That girl definitely knows that he's not soft.
Oh.
And you can't teach that. Wow. Oh my God.
All right. There you go.
Wow, that's cool looking though, dude. It's like
told you something new.
It's a cross between like the Terminator, Doctor Doom, and like Mr. French.
Yeah, it does look kind of like Doctor Doom. But
yeah.
you know what that reminds me of? Also, remember, you ever watch the V for Vendetta?
Yeah.
Kind of like that, like the Guy Fawkes smash.
Yes, it does. Holy shit, you're right.
That's fucking cool.
That is really cool. Oh, I'm digging now.
Oh, man.
Oh.
It works with his name too, because they're calling him Simon Grimm.
Yeah,
so it's kind of like a skeleton mask too.
Oh yeah.
I like that a lot.
That isn't really. This is the fucking issue. It's like you didn't like the gimmick that they had. You could give them a better fucking gimmick and get these guys over. I understand that not every person is meant to get over, but fuck, if the guy's talented enough, let him have a fucking ball. That's a problem with WWE. They have all these guys that could get over and make money for them, and they just say, oh well, we don't need them anymore, so fucking bye.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. There's the match. If you guys want to watch an actual good wrestling match,
I actually would love to watch this. Yes.
Yeah.
He was wrestling against
Silas Young.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Earls, this guy Silas Young, who's the TV champ, fucking tremendous. He has this gimmick where he's calling himself the last real man, and he comes out with like the Rick Rude mustache, and he comes out miserable.
Oh, wow.
And he like completely shit talks everyone.
You fucking love him because he actually chain wrestles.
Yeah.
No. Well, guys, I mean it's like you said earlier, Pat. It's a lost art now.
It is a lost art, but it's like when it's around, it's like holy fuck. I'm glad this is here.
Right.
No, but I mean, I would rather see good chain wrestling and not the bullshit that WWE tries to do. Where it's like, oh, they'll go into a hold, and then they'll break the hold, and then he'll go into a headlock, and then they do the headlock for like a good 2 minutes, so they can like finish up a commercial break, and then when they come back, they do like an Irish whip into a fucking like a big boot, and that's it for the chain wrestling.
Yeah, it's like, guys, can you make it look like if you're doing a technical match, can you make it look like one? Can we get some shades of Benoit versus Angle here?
Right.
You can do it like if you do a technical match, you can do it well. It can be a fast-paced technical match.
Yeah, yeah.
Look at ECW. There was plenty of matches that were like technical matches. Like you look at anything that fucking Captain Marijuana did, and he was doing fantastic fucking matches. They were all technical.
I love RED, but Captain Marijuana, that's a good fucking catchphrase for him.
I like that. It's good, yeah.
Yeah, him and Jerry Lynn, they had their cruiserweight high flying style, but man, did they knew how to hybrid into technical wrestling too. So yeah, Jerry Lynn was the fucking master of that.
Oh my god, he was amazing.
I feel bad for him because I feel like between him and Van Dam, because of how big of a star Van Dam became, he got really lost in the shuffle.
He really did. But he always made a point though to work with Jerry Lynn as much as he could, no matter what promotion they worked for.
Oh yeah, the only one they didn't is WWE. To my knowledge,
they didn't work. Yeah, they worked each other in WWE.
When? On a dark match?
When it was the when it was the whole ECW WCW thing.
No, I think Lynn was already gone by then.
No, they had a couple matches. They had one
let me look this up.
No, they did one on.
They did a Heat. They did a match.
Heat. That was the show. Thank you.
Yeah, they did a match in Heat.
Yeah.
I gotta fucking watch this. That was probably the greatest match that ever happened on Heat.
Send it to you.
It was amazing.
7-minute match.
That was probably the best match that ever happened on Heat. Now everyone WWE to put Sunday Night Heat on the network even more. All right.
Sent it to you.
Okay. Oh fuck yeah! Oh, I'm gonna watch the shit out of this.
I was gonna say, yeah, I remember them. I remember them well.
For the hardcore title, motherfucker.
The hardcore title, yeah, it was a belt match.
Oh yeah. Fuck yeah.
They tore the house down. They tore the house down.
Oh, thank goodness. Alright. Oh, alright, fine. I was like, man, how the fuck did they not ever have a match? No, because you know what it is? I never saw them on, like, a SmackDown or... Because this should, to me, this is... I'm sorry, this is not Sunday Night Heat worthy. This is, like, SummerSlam. You know what I mean? This is, like... Or even not even Summer... You could have done this at fucking No Mercy or whatever. This was a pay-per-view match. This isn't fucking Sunday Night Heat. He was not worthy of this. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, people are saying this is better than most like pay-per-view matches now.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not wrong. Yeah. The first comment is at 4:35. One of the sickest bridge German suplexes I've ever seen. Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah, he looked like he could have fucking snapped his neck if that was a random jamoke that didn't know how to bump on his neck.
Exactly.
Oh, shit. Well, so you guys want to get into some Royal Rumble and NXT predictions?
Yeah, sure.
Alright,
Were we gonna offer to take calls this week?
Would you guys want to?
I don't care. If someone wants to call in,
sure.
it's fine.
If somebody wants to call in, yeah.
Alright, I'm just gonna give everyone the quick disclaimer. I'm gonna... We're probably not going to go any longer than 3 o'clock if you do happen to call in. But anyway, so, alright. for anyone if that's listening live, you want to call in. The number is 732-535-7039. Again, that's 732-535-7039. Well, be more than happy to take your calls. But anyway, while people are doing that, Earls, feel free to chime in on the. Yeah, feel free to call in and I can't wait! I can't wait for that.
What the heck is that? What did you snort?
I did. Hey, we should have Enzo call in.
Anybody have his number? If anyone have his number, you.
I was gonna say, Eric. If anyone have his number, you might.
That chick had his number.
Ooh. Too soon, Bobby. Too soon.
No, that was perfect. That was too good. Oh my god.
All right. So, Earls, you know the drill. If you know somebody, chime in on the takeover. So, all right, the first match we're gonna get into here, Pat, for NXT Takeover Philly, which is this Saturday on the WWE Network. We got the Undisputed Era of Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, who are the NXT Tag Champions, formerly known as Red Dragon from ROH, going against the Authors of Pain, managed by Paul Ellering. Who do you got going in this?
Fish and O'Reilly. Authors of Pain are probably going to lose and then go up to Raw or SmackDown.
I agree. I think they're going to call up AOP on I think they might go to Raw for some reason. I don't know why. I think they should go to SmackDown because SmackDown does not have that much talent to begin with. But yeah, I see WWE being interested in putting them on Raw. Next match we got I'm sure this is probably going to be your favorite match of the night. Ember Moon defending the NXT Women's Championship against Shayna Baszler.
Oh, Baszler's going over.
Yep, Baszler's going over, and Ember's probably going to be in the Rumble. The Women's Rumble.
Yeah, Ember's been down there long enough, and I think they want to push Baszler, so... I expect. I don't think Baszler's gonna have as long as an Asuka level run.
No.
But she's gonna be big for the next couple of months at the very least.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we got This is gonna probably be one of my favorites too. Next to the women's match, we got Aleister Black versus Adam Cole in an Extreme Rules match. Because, I mean, if this is anything like what they did with War Games, where War Games actually did not disappoint by much, if not at all, I see this actually being an actual really good Extreme match in Philly. I think the crowd's going to eat this up.
Who do you think is going over?
Oh, Aleister.
You think he's going to get his heat back?
He's getting his heat back because Adam Cole fucked him over. Adam Cole already got his big shine in War Games by getting the pin. They're not going to give him too much quick. Aleister's still one of their headline guys on NXT that's going to eventually get the belt. I do not see them pushing him on the main roster without him getting that title.
I think this is going to be the blow off for this feud, but I think they're going to feud again. Once Cien Elmos eventually loses the belt, I think that's going to be their main event feud going forward for NXT. For right now, as the blow off, I kind of think that it's gonna. In a weird way, I was thinking Adam Cole, but I'm going to agree. I'm going to say that it's most likely going to be Aleister Black. Yeah, I agree.
All right. Yeah, because I remember at first you were saying Adam Cole. It doesn't add up to me. I'm looking at your point of view. Yeah, I mean, if this is the end, this is the blow off match, and especially considering
Adam Cole's been the heel and he's been the aggressor. Yeah, I see Aleister Black getting his heat back.
Right. And then the last match of the night for the NXT Championship, we got Andrade Cien Almas accompanied by Zelina Vega versus Johnny Gargano. I personally see this as a title retain. I think Almas is gonna get the belt. Keep the belt, I should say.
Yeah, same. I think
it's gonna be Johnny's gonna have a lot, Johnny Gargano's gonna have a lot, and I mean a lot of shine. But I can't see him getting this belt. And if he is at all, it would lead to just him versus Adam Cole.
Yeah, I could see that too. But then, like, to have him with Adam Cole like right after it doesn't make any sense. Because
I don't know, because after a while, you know what it'll be? It'll literally be, okay, Andrade passes the belt to Johnny, Johnny passes the belt to Adam passes the belt to Aleister, and you get where I'm going with this.
It
becomes too much.
Is Ciampa still hurt or what?
Yeah, but you know what?
Okay. If he was better now,
I got the feeling. Well, you know what? He's been out since May. I got the feeling he could be good now, because from May to now, with a knee injury, or I think it was a knee or an ankle injury, I can't remember. But either way, I think 8 months is about an ideal time to come back.
Yeah. Well, my thoughts are if he's better, they're gonna do like a surprise run in and have them feud, and then I think. After this, because if whoever wins the match again with Adam Cole and Aleister Black, I think is going to be like they're not gonna outright say that it's for the #1 contender, but I think whoever wins that match goes on to face Cien Almas at the next NXT Takeover. So that's in what, March?
I would say the next one would be the night before WrestleMania.
Yeah, so considering that that the timing of that, I think I think if the next feud that they're going to end up doing is Cien Almas versus Aleister Black. I think Aleister Black is going to win it the night before WrestleMania.
Right.
I just have a weird feeling because they've been pushing him for quite a while, and if he ends up winning the feud against Adam Cole, I don't really see anything else for him right now, other than going for the belt and them hot-shotting him to the main event position in NXT, and then I think I honestly see him staying in NXT for maybe a couple more months, and then they move him up.
Yeah, and anyone that wants to say, "Oh, Adam Cole should get the title," don't rush the guy. Let him do his thing in NXT. He doesn't need the belt right now.
He still has a lot of problems. He still has a lot of problems. He doesn't. I don't see the Shining Wizard as like a legitimate finisher.
The guy ain't got to bulk up. For him
he's got to bulk up, and he has to come up with an actual legitimate finisher, because right now he has nothing. And and if let's say he gets the belt too soon, and then he's hot-shotted into Raw or SmackDown. This is as popular as this guy was in Ring of Honor. Yeah, other guys have been popular in Ring of Honor, and like. Obviously, they're Ring of Honor Japan, and they've gone to the main roster, and look what's happened to them. So you don't want the guy to be rushed, and then him going into the main roster and then being lost in the shuffle, because that'll be a fucking huge shame. So
yeah, I'm right now, as far as guys that are down in NXT, I have no rush for them to go to the main roster for the right reasons. There's legitimately no rush. They're doing just fine. They're all doing just fine down there. And once they come up here, they're fucking dead in the water. Just because, you know, WWE
Al
doesn't know how to
sure I
treat
don't
them.
see being dead in the water. I think he's. I
No,
think
I think he'll get lost because they actually managed to fuck up Finn Balor and Nakamura. So yeah, they're only just now figuring out. Oh, let's pair up Balor with Gallows and Anderson to make the Balor Club because that's what people have only been wanting since all these guys got signed onto Raw at the same time.
Yeah, but I mean, how long do you think this is going to last? Because they had them with AJ, and that worked. I have no idea why they fucking split them up from AJ.
I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? I like them now. And then last night, I will say it was cool to have them all do the Too Sweet together. That was fine. I wouldn't even been surprised if like
I enjoyed that. Yeah.
I wouldn't have even been surprised if Carl Edison gave like a little nudge to Hunter. It was like, hey, Trips. You know, is it cool now if our little boys to do the Too Sweet again? Can we drop this whole cease desist thing? And you just have Xbox sit there like, yeah, man, I worked with the Bucks. They're fucking awesome dudes. Just let them do what they got to do. Mr. Ass too.
Obviously, it's Vince that's been the one.
Oh, I know. Yeah. How dare anyone make more money? How dare anyone make money aside for us?
How dare anyone use?
Meanwhile, at the same time,
we didn't come up with, but we've been running into the ground for 20 years.
Meanwhile, you have Chris Jericho. Hey Vince, I got an offer to do this match. It's great business. Go ahead, go do it. No, you dumb shit. They're making the money. You're not seeing any of that.
Not 1 cent. No.
No, but he's thinking in his head. If he was a smart and shrewd businessman, he would say, "Yeah, Jericho going over to Japan and getting a huge ovation, and people, putting eyes on Jericho would mean, hey, when he comes back and when he eventually makes his surprise return, which, to be honest, I wouldn't have brought back Jericho. I wouldn't. I would have saved that. I would have let him be in Japan and be like this kind of like Ronin kind of character. That's,
he's going back to Japan though, right?
I know he's going back to Japan, but what my thoughts are, you shouldn't have seen him. It was too early. Have it be a surprise. Have it be a moment where you just have like a Raw or pay-per-view, and you're like, you hear the fucking like countdown, and you're like, what the fuck is this? And then it's Jericho, and it's the fucking New Japan Jericho with the goddamn Alpha Club shirt, and you're like, your mind is fucking blown.
Well, really, even though other than him doing the lists gimmick with Elias, I mean, he wore the Alpha Club shirt, and he really didn't come out to the arena, so he didn't. You don't know if he was going to break the walls.
It should be a surprise. Like when Jericho comes back, it needs to be a big fucking surprise, and needs to be like every time he does his like tours, like he does like a tour for like a year or two, and then he's gone. Every time he comes back, it's always like a huge pop because you don't fucking know if Jericho's coming back or what.
Like, okay, like people, I'm sure people would have been like, how come Jericho didn't show up because it was the anniversary last night, but the fucking Rock and Mick Foley didn't show up. If they didn't show up, Jericho didn't need to. If everyone was there but him, then yes, it would have been like, aw, man. But there were so many more people missing other than just Jericho. He didn't need to. They could have had anyone else do. And it was a backstage skit. They could have had another backstage skit of something else. So, you know what? I would have done if you had this idea of having him come out this week. Put him in the Rumble with the fucking the Fozzy song. And then there you go. And then he goes back to Japan to wrestle Naito.
Yeah.
That'll be fucking fine. And then people look at that and be like, man, this Jericho, he's fucking relevant. He's busting his ass. He's going wrestling from company to company in 1 month.
Yeah, like make him like give him like the fucking Flair shine, where like Flair's going all over the world with the fucking belt.
Oh, that'd be dope. That would be dope. But you know what? Nowadays, with everything, they wouldn't allow that.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I mean, don't give him a belt. But I'm just saying, like, have it where it's like, oh, he's going from company to company.
Right.
Did you? Okay, you know what? You know what's funny? I never heard about this. I was reading somewhere. I know this is jumping into something. Well, I was talking to the wife, and it was about it was about me and the boys, and Joey Austin.
No, wait, what?
No, I'm just fucking with you, man.
I know.
Yeah, it's me and Joey Austin, and no, it's
It's funny you should say that. My Stacy always says that my best stories start off with me and Joey Austin. We're doing,
Yeah.
you know, like whenever I tell her something, and it's true too.
me and Joey Austin were doing each other.
We were at a show once.
We have slept in the same bed many a time with Joey being stark naked. I'm not sure who's seen more of his dick, me or his wife. But anyway.
And so all right. So one of you were having what dreams about Beefcake. The other one was having what dreams about Hogan. Gotcha.
Fuck you. You know, I was surprised last night that Hunter brought up China's name.
Oh, I was like, fuck yeah. I liked when I just liked the mention of Rick Rude and China. I was like, fuck yeah.
Rick Rude, I was okay. I wasn't as surprised, but I said to Stacy, because I'm watching the show with Stacy, I said, I wonder if they're going to bring up China, and then I no sooner got the words out, and then he said it, and I was like, no, fuck, that's awesome, you know. And I was watching when I was watching the show, I got a little teary-eyed because, and this is a shoot, because the night that X-Pac had beat Razor Ramon to become the 1-2-3 Kid was actually the night before my dad passed away. Aww. And I was going to, I remember because he was in the hospital, and it was also the night that Marty Jannetty took the Intercontinental belt off of Shawn Michaels, you know, and I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to go to the hospital and tell my dad about what happened on Raw the night before, and I never got that chance, you know. Shit. So watching it and it being where it was and who was on the show, it just brought back a lot of memories for me, and I just sat there with a tear in my eye and I watched it. So it was really cool.
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Sorry, it's all right. It was because of, I know I've told Eric, but I don't know if I've told you, it was because of my dad that I got into wrestling. I mean, him and my mom were the two big fans, you know, in the house, you know. Nobody else in the house gave a shit about wrestling. They all thought it was stupid. And I always loved it. So there was no way I wasn't going to watch it, you know. And but yeah, anyway.
Do you want a funny Ric Flair story to make you feel better?
Please.
Okay.
I once called him a pink faggot pussy to his face.
Oh yeah, I remember that already, bud.
Oh yeah.
So you kissed your mother with that mouth?
Oh God! And my mother was saying, "Go ahead, let him hit you." No.
Yeah. You know, and you know what's funny? As we just said that, I'm looking directly at the Flair robe that I have, and in that frame is the picture with him with a pink robe on.
Isn't that one of the ones that got stolen?
No, my dad actually took that photo and
no, the robe.
Oh, the robe got stolen. Yes.
Oh, a lot of his robes were stolen.
Yes, that was
yeah.
One. Yeah, shit. I could kick myself in the ass back a few years ago when Jax had the license, and I'll tell the story quick. When Jax had the license for the classic figures, they when I first got Optimum online or whatever, Optimum what the fuck? WWE Classics on demand for Optimum here. Optimum Cable did a like a give, like I think it was like a giveaway or something. It was a promotion.
They did it with Suddenlink too.
They did a promotion with Ric Flair in the pink robe.
The pink robe.
And I think the figure now goes for like $700.
It does now because a friend of mine has that. A friend of mine has that figure signed.
Oh, God help him. He could pay off a car with that if he ever needed to.
I know. I told him, I said, dude, do you have any idea I've held that figure. No, Eric, I've held that figure in my hands. He's got it in one of those plastic, protector things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because he got his through Suddenlink, because Suddenlink did it too. And he got the pink robe Flair, and he took it to an autograph session with Ric Flair. It was, remember where I told you Flair was at the Rough and Rowdy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, it's funny, but that's where he got it signed. And it's signed in a blue Sharpie, and Rick he signed it, and it's coated and the whole deal. And I told him, I said, dude, you've got like a $4,000 figure here. He went, shit, that's $10,000 if somebody wants it.
The value actually went down drastically.
Huh?
When did this happen? The value now is at $90.
Are you fucking kidding me?
When did that fucking go down?
Damn.
I remember it being a couple hundred.
Check real quick for the Marble Ultimate Warrior. If it's low, I'll buy it.
What about the Hasbro Kamala with the fucking the moon on it?
The moon, yes.
Okay, I gotta see the Hasbro.
I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, 'cause I remember that being a nice little penny. Let's see, on card.
I think the cheapest I ever seen it was like $2,000.
Oh, the Kamala, yeah.
No, I was talking about the Warrior.
Oh, the Marble Warrior. Oh, I gotta check that one out.
I think that one was exclusively given to Warrior. Like that was his. Because I know Jax made one that specifically just went to him, and that nobody was ever going to get it but the Warrior. But shit happens, The LJN Warrior alone is like $800. It's the one LJN wrestling doll I'll never get to own because of how much it costs. Unless I luck out and I go to like a flea market or someone doesn't know what they have, which has happened before.
Right.
But anyway, what's your Flair story, Bubby? Please tell me.
Oh, okay. Did you ever hear about the story about when he went to the Dominican Republic?
Go ahead and retell it. I probably have.
Okay. Well, it was a wrestler in the Dominican Republic. It was during the time when Flair had the NWA. He had the NWA title, and he was going from city to city and country to country, and he was challenging everybody. I gotta find the name. So there's a wrestler called Jack Vinio.
Okay.
If he was like a big deal in the Dominican Republic. He was huge star. So apparently he faced Ric Flair in like 1982, and it was made to look like it was supposed to put Jack Benio over as like doing a Broadway and going till like the time limit. And the fans in Dominican Republic didn't know about the Broadway. They just saw like the bell ring and Flair's passed out and Benio's like putting his arms up like he won. So the fans celebrated Benio as winning the fucking NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Whoops.
Yeah. and no, it wasn't recognized. They wouldn't let Flair try to leave with the fucking belt. So Flair literally had to give the guy the belt because this is the Dominican Republic, and in the Dominican Republic, you don't fuck around. They will kill your fucking ass.
Yeah, I was gonna say they'll cut your ass.
They'll fucking kill you. So he
bunch of Jose Gonzalez's.
He had to give Vinio the belt and pretend that he was the champion because the Dominicans in the fucking crowd would have rioted. And they had to do another because of that they had to do another match with the guy, and they had a whole thing that they set up where Piper was supposed to come in and make the save where he was supposed to like knock out Venio, and Flair was going to get like the fucking heel win. Well, Piper goes to go in and try to make the save. He actually got fucking held up by armed fucking dudes to stop him from going in the ring.
It's like, not today, motherfucker. You know, you ain't going out there, man. I tell you what, I cut your ass. Oh my god.
Oh, that's fucking tremendous.
That's too
hey,
funny
I don't know why that reminds me of this, but hey, Bobby, remember when Flair had to drop the belt to El Gigante?
Oh my god, I saw it right here in Charleston, so help me Jesus. No
That's why I brought it up.
No lie, man. Flair comes down, he had that stupid bowl cut that I hated, that haircut that he had, and he's the world's champion. He gets in the ring, and somehow this massive fuck-up happens, and El Gigante gets counted to be the champion, leaves the show with the belt, because you can't miss this 8-foot-tall man carrying the belt over his head. And I'm like, okay, well, that's interesting. And then, like, that was on, I guess that was a Saturday night show. And the whole week, I'm waiting to tune into WCW television to see El Gigante as the champion. And I turn it on, and there's Flair with the belt. And I went, well, there you go. You know. Oh my god! But you know, it's funny because a lot of that happened a lot back in the day, man. I mean, Greg the Hammer Valentine won the WWF title, and it was never recognized. Antonio Inoki was WWF champion.
The only Japanese guy to win the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't recognize it.
They don't, and it's not fair.
Which is weird because I don't know what the fuck happened. Where was it? Like it was just like a bad contract dispute with like WWF at the time.
Yes, it had a lot to do with the contracts.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was about like the contract. But you know what? They could have just had him like drop the belt right back instead of like doing the whole thing where it's like, oh, it's unrecognized. You know?
Right.
Right. I don't know.
Right. Well, I think it was. I tell a lie. It wasn't the WWF. It was the WWF because it was Backlund that Greg Valentine defeated for the belt. And when Valentine got the title, you know, it was good. You know, because I mean, my God, he's Greg Valentine. He's an amazing worker. Why wouldn't you want this guy as your champion? You know, back then. And then they screwed him over. It's a wonder that he stayed with the company. You know, But then, to be honest, back then he didn't really have many options. It was either there or the NWA, and in the NWA he more or less went as far as he could, because he'd already defeated guys like he had feuds with Wahoo and Dusty, and things like that. Plus, a guy like Valentine, he was living off of his father's name too. You know what I mean? Like he was a second generation worker, and all that stuff. So,
Mr. Personality there too.
Oh my God! You know, when I told Eric this, Pat, he believed me, but at the same time he was astonished because I got Greg Valentine to laugh and smile.
I still
no shit. I was at the Lexington Toy and Comic Convention, right? And it was the same show where I actually inadvertently had pulled a rib on Ted DiBiase. I was talking to Jim Cornette, and I told Jim, I said, me and you share similar friends. And Jim's like, well, you got to give me a minute because I'm old and I can't remember, so give me a second to remember. I said, no, Jimmy, you're not old. You're seasoned. DiBiase's old. And DiBiase was setting out his gimmicks. He goes, yeah, brother, but everybody's got a price. And it was funny, and it was meant to be a joke, and it was cool. So I had to get back to my booth, which was upstairs from where they were. And I'm walking past Greg Valentine, and I said, sir, it's an honor to meet you. You know, you're a legend in this business, and I respect you, and I think it's great to meet you, sir. I said, you got to wrestle my hero at WrestleMania 4. He goes, who's that? He goes, oh, yeah, who's your hero? And I said, Ricky Steamboat. He went, yeah, I beat him. It was cool. I was like, holy shit, that's like a little moment I'm always going to have. You know, I'm like, that's awesome.
Yeah, I like when wrestlers still kayfabe it a little bit. Like, I don't know. It's weird because it's. I'll say this shit as quiet as possible. It's weird sometimes going to shows with my dad because, like, I don't mind, like, having, like, a little side memory of, like, guys staying in character.
My ass!
Yeah. Well, I'll talk right back at that. I'll talk right about that.
You finally fucking saw it.
Sorry, I was looking at something else.
Yes, I will. We will bring that right up. But yeah, okay. So it's weird going to shows with my dad because it's like I'm okay with them kayfabing a little bit, but my dad's like try to like make them shoot, and it's like I understand what you're trying to do in the sense of like talk to them like they're human beings. It's like, dude, they're fucking wrestlers. Let them be the gimmick. He's like, no, man, I want them to remember me for that time I carried their jacket.
Wait, what?
No, man, because like he brings up all these stories about like I don't know, like he'll like trying to like how do I put it? He talks about one of his favorite stories was when like Flair told him thank you for when he was carrying the cage.
Okay.
And it's like, with all due respect, like, not for nothing, Duggan would remember him, Ricky Morton remembered him, Flair would not remember that.
You'd be surprised what Flair would.
No, God, Flair couldn't even remember.
You really don't?
Well, then again, Mick Foley fucking somehow remembered my dad's CD that had a rainbow on it.
You see what I'm talking about? The boys remember more than you think, man.
Well,
you know,
they have a photogenic memory, though.
I always thought that, to be fair, I always thought that Ricky would never remember me, and he does every single time.
Well, you got to mention artwork, though. He gets confused.
Not anymore. He nowadays he would know. But
yeah, because you see him like 3 times a year, if that more.
That's true. Well, you know what's funny? What blew me away is that when you told me that when you ran into Punky, that you guys he remembered who I was.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and Bagwell did too.
Oh, fucking Bagwell's awesome. I swear to God, I loved it. I loved it. I loved it. I thought for sure I was going to see Bagwell beat the fuck out of the guy he was going to wrestle that night. Because Bagwell's trying to get him over to talk about the match. He's going, let's go over here and talk about the match, man. And this kid was being such a punk. I won't say his name, but he's a fucking drugged out punk is what he is. He's one of those kids who got lucky. And because he thinks he's over, he actually thought he could sit there and tell a guy like Bagwell, granted Bagwell may not be the nicest cat in the world, or I know he had a reputation or whatnot, but he's always been nice to me. But to tell him, oh, we'll just go talk in the ring, and Bagwell's like, no, get your ass over here, and we're going to sit and talk this out. I swear to God, Bagwell was like 2 seconds short from grabbing this kid and pulling him over by the hair of the head. And then when they got out there, and this kid was blowing 3 or 4 spots, Buff was doing his best to work with him. So it was pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, for as much shit as Buff gets a lot of the time, you know, I don't doubt that the guy knows how to fucking throw hands.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you kind of have to if you're from that, you know, 80s, 90s wrestling period. Mm-hmm. And by the way, yeah, $4,000 to what he screamed at Alfie, just Bobby Earls, whatever.
Sorry about that, folks. Yeah, that was for the side Marble Ultimate Warrior figure.
That was like 1 out of 20 made. Yes. Yeah. There's that, and then I found out the price of what the Kamala with the moon belly sold for from Hasbro. You guys want to place a guess on?
Yeah, I'll guess. I'll go $500.
Okay, what do you say, Pat?
10,000.
All right, Pat's actually a little closer, but you're still high.
Okay, well, how much?
6,500.
Jesus, crime in Italy.
Yeah.
It's
just buy a car with that. You could buy a car with that. You could pay off, if you live in an expensive area, you could pay like 2 or 3 months worth of rent, or even in some areas you could pay 6 months worth of rent with that. Oh man,
You're damn straight. You're damn straight. You could.
It's all
That's crazy.
to steal a joke from Elliot and my dad. Yeah, Kamala probably paid for it. Or Kamala's the one that probably sold it.
There you go. Yeah.
Anyway, let's get into some Rumble predictions.
Yeah.
All right, so they don't have any pre-show matches, and they're probably gonna announce more shit on tonight's SmackDown, like who will be in the Rumbles and whatnot. So what we got so far listed, we got oh shit, I didn't even realize it was gonna be this type of match. We got the Usos defending the tag titles against Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin in a 2 out of 3 falls match for the SmackDown tag straps.
Oh, that's gonna be a good one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it will.
I'm gonna go with, not because he got a DWI, but I will go with Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin on this one.
Yeah, I can see it too.
I do too. Yeah, I have to agree with that.
Next one we got Seth Rollins and everybody's favorite there, Jason Jordan, against LeBar, Cesaro, and Sheamus for the Raw tag titles. Of course, right now Jordan and Rollins are the champs. I don't know. As weird as it is to say, I see them somehow retaining the belts.
No, I don't.
You don't think so? You think the
No.
bar might get it?
Mm-hmm.
I honestly, I think what's gonna happen is I think the Balor Club is gonna interfere with that.
Okay. Or maybe even the Revival.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah. All right. I don't
It
know.
would have made more sense of them doing like a four, like
four-way match. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it seems like they've been doing it more for WrestleManias, though.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know. I don't know. Right now, I guess I'm gonna say. Yeah, I don't know. I really, honestly, I don't know, because the only reason why I don't know is because I can't see them doing 2 title switches with the tag titles just like that.
Stranger things have happened.
All right. Maybe the bar will get the belts back. Next up, in a handicap match for the WWE Championship, the champ AJ Styles defends against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn.
Oh,
I really hope it's AJ. I'm
think AJ
sorry.
retains.
I love Sammy and I love Kevin, but this is too fucking stupid.
It should have been they should
A
have did
joint
this.
championship is going to be really fucking dumb.
They should have just done a handicap match on SmackDown one of the weeks and go, okay, AJ, whoever you pin is out of the match, and it'll be a one-on-one match against the guy that wasn't pinned. Or if they pin you, then it's a 3-way dance. It's a triple threat.
Yeah, that would have made a lot more sense.
Yeah. Because if it was a triple threat, it would have been a handicap anyway, But, yeah, I don't know. AJ's retaining.
And it's gonna just end up being another feud with, between... It's either whoever... If they end up winning it, it's gonna end up being... And do you really want this to be the fucking championship where it's gonna be a co-championship? It's gonna be like... we've always wanted Sami Zayn to win a fucking belt, but not like this.
Same with Kevin Owens.
Yeah, it's come on.
AJ's retaining. I'm sorry, he is. Okay, next one we got for the Raw Universal Championship in a triple threat. We got Brock Lesnar defending the strap against Braun Strowman and Kane. As much as we all think Braun should maybe get that fucking strap, Brock's retaining.
Brock's retaining.
Definitely.
That's seriously not even. That's a no-brainer.
Just hearing the fact that that they're considering Braun against Triple H at Mania, yeah, yeah. Triple H is gonna fucking feud with him, and then Brock. Well, I'll get into Rumble, but anyway, Women's Royal Rumble. I'll name some of the participants, and maybe we can name some, in our opinions, who we think could come out in this thing, like a surprise entrance, because they're saying it's 30 women, and it's, I don't see it being that, so I'm in the sense of, like, there's going to be a lot of surprises in this to fill up some slots. So for Raw, we got Asuka, Sasha Banks, Bayley, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Mickie James, Nia Jax, Dana Brooke, and Alicia Fox. For SmackDown, we got Naomi, Ruby Riott, Natalya, Carmella, Tamina, Lana, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, aka Crazy Mary Dobson, and Becky Lynch. And some of the rumors.
8 people each?
Yeah, wait, yeah. Hang on. Raw has 9, and then SmackDown has 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, there's 18 women.
Okay, so it's 9 each. So
yeah, 9 each.
If it's 30 people, they gotta come up with another, like, fucking 12 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's gonna be NXT girls. It's gonna be a lot of throwbacks, like could be Trish, could be maybe even Lita. Who knows?
Oh, you know who'd be cool?
Who?
Victoria.
Yeah, they could bring her back.
Yeah, they could. She's in great shape.
You think Rousey is going to be in the
Oh, I would not be surprised.
Yeah, but it wouldn't surprise me, though. And it wouldn't surprise me even further if she went over. Like, she comes out as, like, a super surprise contestant, comes in, just eliminates everybody. Gail Kim, another one that'd be cool to have him bring
Gail
back.
Kim is not coming back.
She has major heat. She is on the CM Punk level with that company.
Well, I know she's got heat, but I'm just saying it'd be cool to see.
It would be cool.
It would be, yes.
Yeah.
As far as Ronda, it's a sticky situation because, like, okay, say if Ronda wins the Rumble, right? And then they do the Elimination Chamber with the women in February, which they're going to do. And say Asuka were to win that, and she gets the belt, and it's Ronda versus Asuka. It's problematic to do it right now this year because it's way too quick for the sense of you're legitimately rushing this feud within a month, and it would be too quick for Asuka to lose the belt within a month. Doesn't matter if it's Ronda Rousey, too quick. And then for Ronda to lose, it's like, okay, you brought her in just to have her lose? Like, there's no story.
Right.
It's it's way too fucking fast.
There's no guarantee that she knows how to fucking work, too.
Oh, yeah, I mean, she's training. She is training.
She's training, but I mean, how, within a fucking month, and she's taking on someone that's been wrestling for, like, the better part of a decade.
Almost 2 decades?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'd say that feud, you know what, if I were WWE, I would wait to put Ronda in the Rumble. I would not put Ronda in the Rumble at all. I if anything, let her do it next year if they're gonna keep this as a tradition with the women. I would keep it shut on Ronda for now. I would do a Rock Cena thing where have Asuka come out after WrestleMania. I am the champ. No one will ever beat me. And then Ronda comes out. Huge shock, huge surprise. Goes a year from now at WrestleMania, I challenge you for the women's title.
Yeah.
And she's telling, well, you have to win the Rumble. And then she goes and does it then. And then they do it I guess in Philly in WrestleMania 35. So that's the way I think they should do it. But knowing WWE, they probably will fucking rush it. And it'll look terrible and no one will care. Because they fucked it up. So,
well, you'll have all the fucking WWE mark. Oh, it's Asuka versus Ronda Rousey. It's amazing.
Yeah,
it's amazing.
But
It's amazing.
it would only be amazing. Okay, think of it like this. Think of, like, for instance, that just happened with Jericho and Omega. Oh, okay, on paper, oh my god, it's great. But imagine if the story sucked and the match was mediocre. People would have been like, meh.
Yeah.
You know what they were also thinking? You know what? There was a rumor that came out in New Japan that New Japan wanted to get Goldberg. They actually wanted to do something.
No. Let him. He's gonna be on the Flash. That's enough.
No, I mean.
Yeah, he is.
No, I mean, if anyone was gonna make him like have a good fucking match, it would be New Japan.
At 50 years old, I don't know.
Really think about that. If they were able to bring him in, and you had him versus Kenny Omega, and it'd be like he beats Goldberg. And it'd be like, yeah, WWE, all your fucking old champions can't beat Kenny Omega because he's literally the best in the world. It'd be fucking brilliant. It's like, yeah, you know, your champion that couldn't defeat a 50-year-old man. Kenny Omega just put him away with the fucking one-wing angel. How about that?
But back on the topic, who wins the Women's Rumble so far, guys?
Ronda Rousey.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with. I'm dead serious.
That's a shoot.
Stupid enough. No, I'm actually being serious. I think they are stupid enough to rush it.
I'm gonna go with the safe choice. I'm gonna go with Asuka. I'm gonna go safe.
I think they're stupid enough to rush it. I seriously think they're fucking stupid enough to rush it.
And watch them. You know what? I'm gonna go with I don't know now. I don't know now because the men's and the women's Rumble will both coincide with the direction they're gonna go with on this card, and here's why. I'm gonna flat out exploit. I wholeheartedly think Roman Reigns is fucking winning the Rumble. Before we even get into this,
oh yes, I do too.
Roman Reigns is winning the fucking Rumble. And because of this,
the only other person I could say, and this is my logic with this. If Roman doesn't win it, the only other person I think will is and then this goes into if we'll know if Brock goes over, then we know Roman's taking it.
Mhm.
If Brock loses, then Roman's not winning it. And but you know what? The thing that makes no fucking sense about it is if Braun loses anyway, then Brock can pick and choose whoever he wants. Roman doesn't necessarily. They can still do the WrestleMania match with Roman without even doing the fucking without even doing the Royal Rumble. Like that match is who does Brock have to face left? You know, that's left in the company. You know. The only other person is obviously Roman, so he doesn't even need to win the Rumble. It makes no fucking sense one way or the other. The only other person I could see, and I know Eric's gonna roll his eyes because because of how badly they booked him, but if AJ beats both,
you're going exactly where I thought you were gonna go, and you're going exactly what I think they were gonna do.
Shinsuke.
I see that mainly. That's the second choice I see because alright. My gut is saying Roman, right? But at the same time, one of my friends at work explained to me, you know how Raw has the Elimination Chamber in February? I'm like, yeah. Like, okay. A SmackDown guy could win the Rumble. It could be mainly Nakamura. And then you figure, okay, well, what does Raw do? Alright, they'll do the Elimination Chamber. Roman will win that. And they'll go, okay, because Brock's not on the pay-per-view. Because, let's face it, he's not going to show up at fucking Elimination Chamber. The main event will be the Chamber. And it'll be a number one contenders match to determine who goes to WrestleMania. And it'll be Roman Reigns. And then they'll do Roman and Brock that way.
Yeah, that's what I see.
So you know
so
what?
So what you're saying is, I'm sorry. So what you're saying is ultimately it's going to end up being Brock and Roman at WrestleMania.
Oh, regardless, yes.
Regardless,
okay. That's what I'm trying to.
The only other situation I could see is if they fucking swerve completely and then give Braun the belt, and then I would fucking love to see. I actually would love to see Roman versus Braun in WrestleMania. I would fucking mark out for that shit.
We all would.
That was probably one of the best feuds last year.
We all would, but you know what? Okay. And a second thing too, the reason why I say these Rumbles coincide is because Roman Reigns winning the Rumble, I feel like because it's in Philly and they already booted out fucking so many times, they're gonna put this fucking match before the Women's Rumble. So if the match is before the Women's Rumble, don't be surprised if Roman wins. And then they have the women's match and Asuka or Ronda actually do win it, because that'll be the go home. That'll be the way to send the crowd home happy. Like, hey, forget about Roman. That was an hour or so ago. Now you have this girl won.
Yeah.
It's so that way they don't have the big monumental thing of the women debuting on a night that gets booed. Because you know for a fact Philly will fucking take a huge shit on this if and when Roman does win. But again, I think Nakamura would be the choice. It's the smarter choice. I just hope the fuck they don't look at Baron Corbin and go, "Hey, what do you want? Do you want this?"
You know, besides Nakamura, the only other option I would fucking love is if they end up doing what they like. Remember the last person in the Rumble to be eliminated when Roman won?
Yeah.
Do you remember who it was?
The Rumble Day is Rusev Day.
Could you imagine the pop if he was the one that won the Royal Rumble?
Oh my god.
Him just like getting the fucking Bulgarian flag and then Aiden English is singing Rusev Day in the fucking ring, and he's pointing. He has the Bulgarian flag and he's pointing to the fucking WrestleMania sign. That would be the fucking greatest thing in the world. I would never if they ended up doing that, and I know they're not, but if they ended up doing that, I would give WWE a free pass for like a year. I would not touch. I will actually defend them. I will defend them.
Wow.
All right, we got this on recording that you're saying this.
Yeah, if they end up doing that, I will fucking defend them. I will defend them all with anything they do. I swear to God, I want to see Rusev win the fucking Royal Rumble because it would be the fucking craziest shit ever, and it would be like, I want to see him eliminate Roman personally, just to have that fucking moment.
You'd be like, I remember Philly 3 years ago, Roman. Not today.
He just Machika kicks him out of the fucking ring.
Yeah, and then everyone in Philly loses their fucking mind.
Oh, wouldn't you fucking want to see that?
Oh, of course they'd want to see that. If anything, I hate to say it, as much as I like Nakamura, I think that's a better choice considering that the WWE crowd is more behind Rusev right now than Nakamura. I hate to say it, but it's kind of true.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say it.
It would be the greatest thing, like, in the Raw, the SmackDown, like 2 days after would be, like, the greatest fucking Smack. He would just be coming out and be like, hey, it's Rusev Day, I won the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and the whole crowd will chant Rusev Day, and then we'll sit there, scratch our head. Okay, when is he turning face? Is he a face yet? Because, I mean, I sure damn hope so if the crowd's chanting his gimmick.
Oh, that would be fantastic. They had him win the Rumble, and they do like a reverse. They do a double turn, and they have AJ turn heel again.
Yeah. So okay, I know they're gonna name more wrestlers tonight, probably on SmackDown. Who will be in the Rumble, but here are some of the names that they got, and like I remember Michael Cole last day was like, "Oh, John Cena, Randy Orton are in there, and guys like Finn Balor and Nakamura and Roman. It's an all-star battle royal or a Royal Rumble." I want to round off the names and see if you guys can determine the all-star category here. Okay, Elias, Randy Orton, Nakamura, John Cena, Finn Balor, Baron Corbin, Woken Matt Hardy, Bray Wyatt, Rusev, Aiden English, Apollo Crews, Titus O'Neil, Tyler Breeze, Fandango, Roman Reigns, and The Miz.
Hey, Miz.
Is this really an all-star Royal Rumble?
I mean, you know, every Royal Rumble has fucking people that are like, bleh.
No, fucking Royal Rumble '92 was an all-star Royal Rumble. This? No, I'm sorry, man. It's, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously they're trying to put the company over. It's you know, they're gonna say it's an all-star. I mean, like you said, the only one that was like an all-star was like '92. All the rest, they do have them like the mid part of the fucking card is all jobbers. Like, let's be honest. They're so like Kane and Big Show can throw people out of the fucking ring and bump up their most ever like elimination thing, you know.
Yeah, I know.
We both know.
It's fodder.
It's
fodder.
Yeah, it's all fodder. Because if they were all stars, it would look really bad if they got eliminated that early.
Of course, yeah, of course. Good point. Good point. Well, is there anything you guys want to say or, you know, talk about before we start getting out of here?
No, I'm good.
What about you, Pat? Is there anything you want to talk about, Pat, or are you good too?
Yeah, no, I'm just thinking of it. I'm just like,
Okay.
So how didn't you kill the rats when you were having sex with them, Earl?
Stop it. No, you know, it's...
I no, like, the mechanics of it, like, is boggling my mind. I feel like you'd crush them instantly.
They were on top.
Yeah, but he's too round. Wouldn't they just bounce off?
It was, first of all, fuck you. Second of all, it was never sex. It was always oral sex.
So, so that way you're the little beach ball down there didn't hurt.
Pretty much, you know. Yeah, it was just one of those things.
I'm actually surprised they were able to find your like Tootsie Roll.
Well, I mean, I gave them explicit directions. You know, take the right hair past the north, and you know, go on.
Yeah, but it's like you know, like when Bugs Bunny's trying to find the
go to hell.
I took a wrong turn in Albuquerque.
Pretty much, yeah. Like that's my butthole. No. Oh my god.
I did. That's all, folks.
Yeah.
Oh shit. All right. Well, with that said, let's get some plugs out of the way. Facebook.com/Kayfabe Talk Radio. Go to KayfabeTalkRadio.com. For all information when we go live, we should be going live next Tuesday. Probably around 12. If not, if we have to do earlier, we will let you all know. Actually, I think you and I are doing the AM Thunder. Yeah, we're gonna do. I guess we're gonna do like an AM Thunder slash.
Rumble, yeah.
Yeah, AM Thunder slash, I guess, a Kayfabe Talk Radio, like, in terms of, like, talking about news and shit like that.
We'll do a short one. I mean, we'll do a short AM Thunder before we do the main thing. It's really just, we have the Takeover plus the Royal Rumble. I think we've covered the news hopefully for the week.
Until someone else.
I kind of want to see what for the news next week. I kind of want to see what Enzo says about the release and everything.
Like I said, just become a rapper and be done with it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. Become a rapper and be done with it. But yeah. So we'll do a show. It's pretty much as of right now. It'll probably just be an AM Thunder. But be on the lookout. We'll be live next week. So, good friend of the show, a good friend of Bubby there, Chad Flatt, Pro Wrestling Weekly on thefanspodcast.com. Also, VocNation.com. You can find Retro with the Stro. Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Wrestling Soup on Mixler, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on iTunes and Stitcher as well. You can find that Friday mornings. Also, we are on iTunes and Stitcher, so please give us some ratings and love on there. YouTube, always check us out. We go, you know, especially when we go live and everything else in that nature. Also, for all those that listen on Spreaker, we are now on there. And again, everyone that found us on Reddit, please send us the link to the fucking subpage. The fucking subreddit. Like, you know, it's already been about a month already since we heard about this. Just fucking send it already.
I don't know what the hell they've been saying about us.
That's what I want to know.
From you guys, and I know I'm the majority of the talent here, so I'm just telling you guys the truth.
Well, I mean, you know, hey, I mean, if it weren't for me on the technical side, I would like to see you two. What do you, Jamokes, figure this out?
We don't need you.
See you guys and going home. Oh man, Twitter.com/EricTheRed211. You can chat with me there. Also, J.R. Earl's Art on Twitter. You can find him and, you know, ask him about his experiences with the Ring Rats, but also ask for some artwork.
Not to mention, you guys can see me every single week at 6:30 p.m. on the Fantastic Floor Nerdcast.
Do they have call-ins? I just feel like calling in and fucking with you guys at some point.
We might. We're still kind of getting all the bugs worked out. So yeah, we're thinking about doing stuff like that.
If I'm ever around on it, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, but so yeah, check us out there.
Yes.
And for all your complaints.
Yes, please go to my Twitter at #Mr. Bonesaw.
Mr._Bonesaw for all your gripes and complaints on the show. So yes. for anyone offended, please go to him.
Please suck my dick.
Some of the Ring Rats would.
Yeah, they would.
I don't want Earl's ones. They probably have no teeth.
Oh no, yeah, they do.
You're talking from experience?
Unfortunately, once, yeah. That was a fucking nightmare. Whew.
Too bad she didn't have braces on.
Ooh, God.
Actually, you know what you call a black chick with braces?
Oh, God. No, alright, show's over!
Anyway.
I want to hear that. What was it?
A Black and Decker Pecker Wrecker.
My dad told me that so many times.
I was gonna say that's an old. I love it. Eric goes, that show's over.
Oh, I mean, you want to hear another one?
Sure.
Oh God.
Because of MLK Day, I have one about MLK.
Oh, goody.
Fuck.
Eric, I think you should end the show.
Yeah, before it gets ended.